Whack it.
Let me whack that thing.
You ever just whack it at a table with 3 other men? You're about to.
Man, everyone's whacking it over here.
You should all be whacking it. Hello, everyone. This is the I Should Be at Work Right Now podcast. We're going to talk to you about
Episode 3, Colin.
Oh, it's episode 3. It could be any episode.
It could be.
And that's the magic of the digital age. So we got a new guy here tonight. Matt's on hiatus.
So we have Steve Mamay.
Whoa, really?
Yeah. I thought, all right.
We said a last name.
Okay, all right.
Do you think really there's other people named Stephen May probably in the world?
My dad, my grandfather,
Yeah. So then we're fine.
my great-grandfather.
You're getting killed tonight.
Look, I was saying Chris Schwank.
Dead. You said your last name.
I'm not too worried about it.
They're gonna be knocking on my door tomorrow.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
It's gonna be IRS.
Staying off the grid here.
I'm fucked.
Colin Statchler.
Conrad Satchel.
Yeah.
I'm ethnic, so people can't know my last name.
Yeah.
They'll definitely come after me.
Yeah, you'll be the first to go.
Yeah.
Just think of the most common
Jesus.
Mexican last name.
Juarez.
Rodriguez?
Rodriguez.
It's definitely Rodriguez.
No, it's the most common.
Lopez?
No, it's his.
Garcia.
It wasn't that hard. I mean, you can just totally guess it.
Mine's really common too.
No, it's not. All right, we got really sidetracked.
Steppa Papadopoulos.
All right, so what are we talking about, boys?
We're going to talk about some supernatural stuff, some ghosts, personal stories.
Some aliens.
Well, what if you do you believe in them?
Believe in what, ghosts or aliens?
A lot of people
I believe in both.
I believe in both too.
Yeah.
But people,
Yeah.
they don't believe in this shit.
I feel like most people do. I feel like a higher average believe.
There's some people that do not. There's some people that don't think what's.
Well, I'm not saying some people don't, but I feel like majority of people believe.
I mean, people definitely believe about ghosts more than they do aliens.
No, I don't. I don't think
so.
so. I don't know.
I think so.
I mean, maybe the ghost thing, just because the thing about people that are like religious, that's like half the country, and it's not so much they believe in ghosts, believe in spirits.
That
and
there
spirits and all
potentially
that, yeah.
could be something.
yeah.
After
So
you die.
that's already, I guess, maybe because most likely, if you're religious, you don't really believe in aliens.
Yeah,
I would
exactly.
think.
Yeah.
So it's according to the Bible and stuff like that.
So like Trumpsters definitely believe in ghosts.
Yeah. Among
Most
other
likely, I
really
would say
bad
so.
things.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
Get on that wall, buddy.
Hillary's possessed by a demon. I know it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Obama's a intergalactic space demon that smells like sulfur.
God. Jesus. Let's not go to those extremes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Put her in jail.
Lock her up.
Lock her up.
Yeah. That's what
I actually seen a guy drive when I was driving a Giant like last week, and he still had the sign on it, like "Lock her up 2016." And I was like, "You fucking retarded."
You put that on the paint of your car.
Yeah. And what do you know? It never happened. Big fucking surprise.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're getting totally sidetracked.
Yeah. Fucking jackass. I still see like Bush stickers and like what was it? Carrie.
Carrie
Oh.
Edward.
Yeah, Carrie
and,
Edwards. Yeah.
Wait,
No,
no,
what was the other guy?
And it was
No,
like
John Kerry.
it was
John Kerry.
and then
John
Romney.
it was Romney and Obama, and then
Kerry and Bush.
there was like intergalactic demons.
John
John
Kerry.
Kerry.
I'm pretty sure it was John Kerry.
Kerry and Evans. Yeah.
Barmendo Bomney.
I heard he was a Kenyan. That's weird.
He probably runs really fast.
Yeah, he probably does.
Anyways,
Jesus.
super normal bullshit.
Super normal. Paranormal.
Super normal bullshit.
Super normal for me, I guess.
All right. Well, all right, Steve. So let's just go to you because we've already ran our mouths twice now on this. So you got a story? You got 2 stories?
He's got
For paranormal?
Yeah. And where were they? Like Okay, we're from Pennsylvania,
Okay.
so we got a lot of history here.
It actually does that.
Well, she actually does, like,
it is,
it's-
yeah.
Over
So-
here, like on this side, is the most paranormal. Like compared to like out west, like we have way more history of like paranormal stuff compared to like
I
most
mean,
places.
we were the
It's-
first place in the world. You know, when America was
Well,
born,
I know,
we were
but,
the
like,
first people here.
But even in like this area, like the tri-state area, like there's
Yeah.
so much like paranormal shit.
You figure
like,
with the
I went over.
with, like the Civil War and stuff, a lot of this place around here were battles and stuff. So my story was at Gettysburg. So we went, which is supposed to be one of the most haunted places in the country. I used to watch all the ghost shows and stuff. My sister got interested in it, so we went ghost hunting down, like did like a tour and stuff.
You actually went ghost hunting?
We went with like
on
a,
your own?
No, we did that later, but this.
wait, is there an
story-
actual tour?
Yeah, so the story that something actually happened was on a tour. He had like the EVP reader. Like all the, I forget all the technical terms for all the stuff to use, but one has like the radio playback and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
catches
yeah.
up. So we went in the woods and the guys talking to the thing, and we were getting some feedback, and they had the things that cross.
Oh, the dowel rods or whatever?
Yeah.
What's that? The not EVP, the EKG meter or something?
Yeah, like he had.
Or is
like,
that the Ghostbusters called it?
He's talking about like dowel rods, like the whole.
well, the
like,
dowel rod's like, yeah,
crosses,
you ask a question like,
magnetism and
cross
stuff.
this if you,
Oh, yeah,
you know,
yeah,
if
yeah.
your name begins with a J, you know, they'll cross or whatever. So we had some weird stuff with that. There was a little kid, like I'd say like 7, and his dad, he was starting to freak out. His dad said, "Is there anyone here if that would hurt my son? Cross them if they would." So they actually turned around, smacked the kid in the forehead. He was standing right next to him.
You did it.
Yeah. But then
Like, what do you mean by like it? Literally just.
Did you ever see that? Yeah, they
When you hold,
turned.
they
They
just- they
turned.
spin.
Yeah, they
Yeah, they
turned
just-
and they hit the kid in the head. The kid was like on his dad's.
No flick
thing.
of the wrist.
No, I mean, yeah, they turned and
Yeah.
so
Are you sure you didn't move it?
he could have.
He's get the fuck out.
Yeah,
But
still kind of funny, regardless.
so then he was doing the radio thing, and he was getting some feedback from it.
That's the craziest shit, because some of that static, man. Like,
Yeah.
I've heard some stuff like, and it's
Well, yeah.
it's weird, man. Like some of those people, they pick stuff up and it's like weird as fuck. But keep going.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna interrupt you.
This one, my brother, because there's my brother, his girlfriend, and my youngest sister, and my brother was talking to her, you know, did you bring, what letters does your name begin with? I think we got it a K. You know, we kept going on. The guy said, ask him if he can repeat your name back. So he goes, my name's Chris. Can you say Chris? And then we got some kind of feedback, whatever. And then he goes, can you say my name? My name is, and right before he finished, it said Mame through the thing.
Oh, is this that spirit box thing where it goes through a bunch of different like radio stations?
Yeah.
Okay,
It says-
yeah,
so
I know what you're talking about.
I didn't. So supposedly it said our last name, which is not a, like you just said. No one else has named that.
Yeah, like it's,
It's not a common name. My brother's girlfriend started screaming. My sister started screaming. So
screaming like because
like-
it said
like-
that.
because
yeah,
because it
yeah,
said it like what the
because-
fuck.
Okay.
because
Like a
Then-
shock scream.
we
where,
never
like,
said our, we never said our last name. My stepdad, who has a different last name, bought the tickets with his credit card, so it wasn't like they looked at the credit card and some guy on the other line saying,
Yeah, I was like, so
So
that'd
it-
be so much effort to do that too,
yeah.
because they already
But
got
I mean,
the, like,
I mean, if you
What do
would
they
do
have,
that,
investigators?
you get
Looking
you get
into your
people
shit?
get paid off, but it didn't
That's
say.
true.
It said our last name, like you said.
That's
my last
fucked.
name. Who the hell has my last name?
Yeah, that's pretty weird,
Yeah,
dude.
you do Google search my name and it's like
Because
my
I'm
dad's
like,
fucking crime record. That's it. That's the only thing that comes up. Yeah.
do you know what a spirit box is?
Yeah,
I
it's-
think that's what it was.
It's like the EVP with the other. There's something else to
It's
it.
not an EVP because an EVP is
It's
when you
just a
record it.
recording,
Listen,
yeah.
you listen back, and that's when you hear
So
something.
what is the spirit box?
But a spirit box, it goes through a bunch of different radio signals and it'll go like go through everything, and sometimes you'll hear stuff. So that one time you would have heard that, it would have said Mame,
Yeah.
which what are the chances of anyone saying Mame through a radio?
Yeah. So that was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my little sister, who had a different last name than me, but she started freaking out. She's like, it's not like a game. Like she was like, holy shit, this is. Real
Yeah,
now.
that's pretty
You
sucky,
get that
man.
like fucking like just fight or flight like. Dick
My-
shrinks up in your, and you're like, oh shit, man, what do
Also,
I do?
it was
I
just
gotta
like
go.
you kind of go warm, like holy fuck, like this might be real. Like
Yeah, it's
a real
that
deal
was
right
yeah,
there.
like that's not like if my last name was Johnson or Jones or something like that.
Something
like,
that's-
you could just take a shot in the dark and
And it would be like possibly be that. So.
Yeah.
I remember you talking. Were you like ever in like? I think when you first told me about this, didn't your aunt go with you too? No, I remember you were talking about something with you. You said that you were in. You guys like going to like. I swear you guys said something like about like a tunnel or something like that. You guys were walking through a tunnel.
Yeah, it was like in the outskirts of like a battlefield, but there was like almost like a tunnel there, but it was like kind of like a wooded area and stuff.
Devil's Den? You talking about
No,
Devil's Den?
it wasn't at Devil's Den because this was at 11. I think everything at that time of year closes around. It's closes at like 8 o'clock at night, so they couldn't let us go through that. But the second time we were there,
That's where people get.
Well, you were there
I was
twice.
there twice, and I guess there's like seasons, like it's open later, like in July and August or something. So we actually went to Devil's Den at like 9 o'clock at night, and we heard we saw other paranormal investigators after we heard like drum rolls in the.
That's like a common thing though.
Yeah, we
you
heard
shows
drum
watch,
rolls,
like,
and
you
we
hear,
heard
like the drum rolls.
we
and
heard
shit.
we heard what we thought were gunshots. Now we're thinking fireworks because there's
But see that's the thing. Like it makes you too because like in the
so
shows like
it's-
you actually showed that too. So like
Yeah, so
it could be
it-
someone fucking around, but you never know.
You never know. So like that, like you kind of have an explanation for, but the whole thing through the
with
the
that
spirit box, like
thing,
I'm like,
that's
I have no explanation.
that's strange.
I didn't even tell the guy my first name, so it was just
And not to say your first name, but like if it just
My
said
last
like
name,
if
yeah.
it just said like Steve, you'd be like, oh, that's weird.
yeah.
But if it says my man, like the fuck.
But yeah.
That's a much better story than most of the stories you hear. Because most people at Gettysburg are like, "Oh, I heard gunshots all night, and I saw a Confederate soldier." And
Why is he a redneck?
it's always those people in the shows, man. It is, man, and it's crazy because, like, in my experience, like I don't know, like I saw what I saw, and like I never wanted to make up some crazy story. I just tell it like what happened. Like this is what I saw.
Well, that's how you know it's like real then too, because like you can tell when people make it absolutely like there's no reason to make it crazy. Like if you remember it happening, the fact of it happening is crazy enough already.
Right.
But then you can tell when people take it too far, it's like you're just making that.
You're bullshit.
Yeah. Well, people do that.
Yeah.
No, that's what we're saying.
Without a
Yeah,
fucking-
I know.
Yeah.
It's like a thing. Like, and there's like some people are, I think, compelled to do it. So, you get a supernatural subject, so fucking anything goes,
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
You
Yeah.
can say whatever you want.
No,
you
see,
know,
like for me, it was because I was even kind of skeptical about. I'm like, did it really say that? But my brother's sister or my brother's girlfriend was like, no, clear as day. That's what she heard.
Yeah.
It was May. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because when I've ever done any of that stuff, like to even go like to like the Haunted Bridge and shit.
I
that's
want
out
to.
there.
Though. Don't you want to do that?
No, like I
would
have
love to do that.
I have gone to. There's like a Haunted Bridge.
Yeah.
But did you go? No, did you go with like tools though? Like,
The only time that the only thing we ever did was
the cover bridge.
Yeah,
Cover bridge,
Yeah,
yeah.
when we went with
Yeah.
the video, the
but
camcorder. and
It's
shit.
weird because we used to go in there with 2 cars, put a recorder, close all the windows up, turn all the lights off, honk the horn 3 times,
What
and
they say.
then sit there.
Where is that? I've done that.
It's literally about 20, 10, 15.
They have a light on it now, so you can't. So kids don't do that anymore.
Yeah, but I got hurt.
But
They probably got
it was
tired
so
of
weird
people.
because you would eventually start hearing things because the creek was right there, and you were
Yeah.
like, and then we heard like this weird. I don't know if it was some kind of
like
bird or
It
something.
was like a howling.
Yeah,
noise.
but we kind of figured it was just some like an owl or
Animal or
bird or something because
Yeah.
we're right next to a farm. But like it was just fun doing that. Like it was so retarded.
You should have just made it up because
that's-
we would have got famous if it was a howler demon.
It was a howler demon.
straight from hell.
Where else would it come from, Derek?
Arose that night.
You could smell our flesh while we sat in the tunnel, waiting imminent doom. God.
Dude, speaking of like the
Bloody
EVP stuff, like I actually got a recording on an EVP. I shit you not. I can probably get it because Jesse Weber still has it.
no
It
shit,
was
dude. I do want to.
yeah. It was. We went to. It's what they
When
called.
we're done.
It was in Exeter, PA. It was called the Witch House.
Oh, the accident one. I
Yeah.
think I came with you guys.
Oh, were you there with us?
I think I did.
Yes, you did. I
Was
think.
that the one with Georgiana and your
Yes,
brother?
and remember the recording?
Yeah.
And you heard the little kid saying, and there was Georgiana was the only female there. It sounded like a
Yeah.
little kid saying, "Hi."
Yeah.
How fucked up is
yeah.
that? We
It
have
was a
fucking
one syllable word.
but it said twice.
Yeah.
Dude,
It was
and there's
it was
you can
really
hear all of
weird.
us talking, and then in the back you just heard hi, and you could see
Yeah.
people, the kids from like 1800s, like 1890, had their names scribed in it, and it's right next to a hotel. So we parked in a hotel, walked there, and since the building's an historic building, you can't rip it down.
The kid shit is always scarier.
It wasn't.
What is that?
It was either a kid or was
they
like
should
a
be
lady.
innocent, but man,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the weird part too is like we weren't even having fun when we were there. Like, this place fucking sucks. Get
Yeah,
out.
we
We just
we
drove
literally-
like 45
we went down
then
minutes.
you gotta
basement.
check it afterwards, and that's
And that's what we did. We were driving home, and we played in the car. I'm like, wait, fucking roll that shit back.
Yeah.
You hear Georgiana say something, then you hear, hi.
Yeah, and right
Hi.
afterwards.
I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
And that was like the best EVP thing I've ever gotten. Like, I've gone to like the Durham houses and like that
Durham
one.
House. I think is just
It's
made up.
Yeah, it is. It's just the reason it's creepy is in the location to get there.
Secluded woods.
It's
Yeah.
really like weird.
And there's like a
It's,
tree
opened up
in the middle of the building, and there's like this urban
I think
live.
I think that sparks a lot of this stuff, though, don't you? Because like I definitely get weird feelings in certain places, but like
Yeah.
like I've been to Gettysburg like 3 times, and even during broad daylight, like when you're standing on some of the battlefields, man, like it feels weird
you know
because
what, but
like
I'll-
thausands of people were killed there.
I'll
And
tell you
But
what,
is it just because you
it's
know
10
that?
times.
You know
It's
that.
so much
Yeah.
different at night.
I
Like when
bet.
we
I'd
went,
imagine
like
it's a lot
because when we
creepier.
saw that we were allowed to be there till 10 o'clock, we stayed till 10 o'clock. Like we stayed just to see, and it's totally like it was my sister. I think I was holding on to her half the time too because I'm just like. Something fucking jumps out of here.
Somewhere's
We're
happening.
We're out of here. So
that shit's crazy, man. Like I've been to we used to sneak into Pennhurst.
yeah.
Like
Oh boy.
I was never there. I was there for the
That's a good
the
place.
like the thing you pay to like. go
yeah,
through
now
and
it's like
everything.
you can't like it's
Yeah.
you know they fixed it up and
Yeah.
I haven't been there since they've done it, but I've seen pictures of it and I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
But like we used to
Tourist
sneak in
trap,
there and like when we came back, like there were fucking cops waiting for us. And it was like they told us like pretty much like where were you? They knew where we were.
Yeah.
I got
And
saved.
I'm sure-
I'm sure-
Let him finish this because
I wasn't there with Penhurst.
I was there.
I wasn't.
They
there.
get that so many times.
I was there, but it's the same story.
Like,
as-
we were on a walk in the woods, and he's like, yeah, well, don't walk in these woods ever again, you know, pretty much. And we were like, okay. And then we had like weed and shit, and it was like, oh fuck, I'm going to jail tonight. Oh, I'm in so much trouble. And he just let us go. But man, that was probably the eeriest feeling I've ever had, besides when I actually saw one. Like,
Well, you saw.
oh yeah, we'll get there.
All right.
I'm saving it, you know. So, yeah, the big denouement. Fucking no, it's just you're in there the whole time and you're like seeing the tables with the straps on them, and it's all like dilapidated
Crazy
and
shit happened.
yeah, and it's like, what did they do to these people, man? No wonder this place is fucking supposedly haunted.
well, that shit
What
was
were they
all.
doing to these people?
Did you ever see the reports on it? Like that when the reporter went back there and like I think it was like maybe it was even the 80s or 60s or 70s, somewhere around there. They were showing the people in them like they had so many people but not enough staff, so people were just in corners places. People were in beds just shitting.
See, I
in
never
them.
looked at that. I should.
You should have looked at
because
that.
I'd fucking been there, man. And it was like,
I heard it was a pretty.
Dude, they were
fucking
like-
It was a fucking. But most of them always were. They were all terrible.
head straps and shit. There were like pits in the floor, like with drains.
Yeah, and they
Like,
would.
what are
just,
those for? Blood, obviously.
Blood.
What
Any
else?
bodily
Yeah, or piss.
Yeah,
like,
whatever.
what the fuck?
Whatever's coming through.
shit.
Oh my god, dude! Like, what the fuck were they doing to these people? Like, most of them were probably out of their fucking minds. But,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
you
without
know,
a doubt.
but like maybe some of them just had a bad day and tried to kill themselves and got admitted, and then
Yeah.
well, now we're gonna strap
yeah,
you to
then you're
chairs
stuck
and
there.
drill holes into your fucking skull and
Yeah,
try
too,
to
but
lobotomize you and shit.
Yep,
Yeah.
the ice pick
Like-
right fucking above the eye right here.
But even then, too, like some of them probably were stuck there forever. Because I know working in a mental health facility, sometimes the staff egg you on and make you pissed off, freak out. Oh, guess what? You're stuck here for another fucking.
Yeah, and now think
You're
about
here
the-
for another 3 months because you just freaking freaked out on me, you know. So
Think about like
Someone
a
just had a
large
bad
scale
day.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
It's like getting fired from a job. It's the exact opposite. Like you freak out at a job, they fire
now
you.
you're here logging.
Yeah.
I'm ready to.
You're
My 2 weeks notice. Nope, you're here.
instead of Vince,
Fucking 2 more bucks.
instead of Vince McMahon saying
You're fired. You're staying forever. That's crazy, man. And then like they didn't understand those things back then, I guess. So they just like tried all this weird shit on people.
yeah,
testing it.
You know?
they don't know what the fuck.
And they had no-
They're just like okay,
They're like human guinea pigs
Yeah.
at that point
Let's,
because
let's
it was
put
all
a nail in your head and see what happens.
it was all like
fixes you.
state-run stuff. So like if they got undercut, the building still stayed open, took more patients, and even back when they were open like the 30s, like to have a retarded child that wasn't acceptable. Like or mentally ill like child wasn't acceptable. So you would drop them off there. and then that's just where they stayed
Yeah.
forever. And then, like, it's terrible. That's what they would do. And
That's
then
why they invented Ritalin, because they wanted to stop throwing kids at tenders.
well, they were like, "Yo, this kid's acting too much to a kid.
We don't have any room.
Was that what like people may say that there's a huge psychotropic drug problem in this country? It's like, well, yeah there is, but like the old solution was to just lock people up
and let them die in there.
hose them down. Like strap them to the table, hose them down.
Spray them down with some really cold ass or really hot ass water.
Yeah, let's try drilling the hole here today on this one. Maybe that'll work.
Yeah.
Maybe all the stupidness will fucking leak out of his brain.
A lot of that shit too, like when I was like watching a thing like a documentary on Penrith, and this was like across the board as well. Like,
is that like available still? Like,
yeah, you can watch it on YouTube at any point.
Oh, cool.
Like
cool. I'm gonna watch that.
The horrors of it and stuff like that happen there, but a lot of it too, like
whack it.
A lot of the people there, like the staff, they would hire like random staff members and they would just rape the kids.
Oh
like,
yeah, well,
so
of course,
all that shit.
But that's what I mean, because no one regulated anything. They were just thrown there, and they were just lost to time.
People that do that kind of shit flock to
places you can get away with
people who are vulnerable.
Yeah, and that the place.
Well, then okay, so all this shit's happening there. Of course, it's fucking haunted. Possibly, like if you believe in ghosts, if you don't, whatever. Still watch this and maybe laugh at us and make fun of us. But like, why wouldn't it be haunted if all that terrible shit happened to all those people there? And imagine some of those doctors. Like, do you think they had no shame? Do you really think they had no shame?
No morals.
Like, yeah. I bet you some of those doctors probably killed themselves.
Probably. Or went fucking crazy themselves.
Yeah, or went nuts, yeah. Oh, God, that's scary. That's a good movie right there. The doctor goes crazy, ends up locked up in his own fucking asylum.
That's actually a movie already.
I'm sure it is.
Grave Encounters, like, I don't know.
That movie was cool.
Yeah, that's that would be a cool movie. That was
I've seen it.
So people slammed the hell out of that, and I was like watching, like, oh.
Dude, the first one I actually liked a lot. I was like, yo, this ain't bad.
Yeah, the second one was puppy trash.
Yeah, it was straight puppy trash.
But yeah, those were cool. But yeah, so I was in there, and you get that, like, I was scared already because I knew I was trespassing.
Yeah.
That adds to
Yeah.
That's half of why it's fun though.
There was like fucking 10 of us. We had 2 cars full.
Was that with your brother?
We did the same thing,
Yeah.
and we got caught.
Yeah, and we were in there, and
I'm sure they just watched.
well, we had like I think
They
we
probably
had
watch that shit all the time.
They did.
might have had like 4 flashlights for the 10 people, and then people kept trying to like wander off and like split up, and I was freaked out about that because I love horror movies. I've seen so many.
Yeah, you know what
You're
happens
like,
at
this
point.
bad
When
stuff
we split
happens.
up, this is what bad shit happens.
Where are you
man.
going?
Yeah.
Where are you going? Don't get back here.
As long as you say I don't want to be around the black guy, he's gonna die first.
No, but like even like well, not anymore. But
Not anymore.
but fuck, like just being in there, like you're scared already, and then you go in and then you like get this like it's like cold, and it was summer, but it was like cold.
In the building is
It
cold.
was like damp, and it was like what the fuck, and like I hate to like sound like I don't know, like the orbs thing, but there was like shit floating around in the air.
Yeah.
Well, that's all.
Was
I mean,
it dust?
That
Was
could be
it
just dust. In there, 'cause,
asbestos?
dude, it's
But the fucking walls are broken, so where's the dust sitting? It's like some of the rooms have like busted walls, and there's like huge openings.
yeah,
Asbestos.
yeah. But that's how the cops knew we were in there because we kicked in a air conditioner and
Covered in it.
we
Go
ended up in
figure.
the morgue and we were like we came.
You went into the morgue.
Yeah.
Funny story.
Your
let me-
brother told me that, and I
we
was
couldn't
like,
find it because everything was chicken. I don't know when you were there. Was everything chicken wired off yet?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we
We had a bolt cutter just in case.
See, we didn't bring anything. We didn't think anything of that.
Well,
so
I went to this dude I used to hang out with. They were twins, and both of them have, distanced away from where we are now. But maybe you met them a long time. You probably wouldn't remember them, but their names are Roger and Glenn.
no,
And they loved going into abandoned buildings.
I love
That was their
Jesse
thing.
Weber.
They loved it. They were like, "Oh, dude, urban exploration, it's fucking great."
See, I love the same
They're
thing.
like, come with us. Like, there's all these old factories that are shut down. Like, we just need a bolt cutter and get into the fence.
Yeah.
And it's like, is this trespassing? He's like, yeah, but like it's shut down. Nobody owns it. And I'm like, all right, fuck
Someone
it.
owns it.
Yeah. Like, I'll go with the weed in my pocket. Whatever. Like, drinking underage. Let's go break into this fucking factory. Possibly die. But yeah, they had a bolt cutter, and we didn't need to use it, but there was like chicken wire.
Yeah, that's what we had. We had chicken wire everywhere. So we couldn't find a way to go in, and we went with 2 fucking cars of people like assholes. We parked right at the entrance.
No, we didn't do that.
Well, it was the entrance. There's an entrance on one side, and there's an entrance in like a dirt road that goes all the way back. So we parked there. And I think that's how we got caught, because neighbors saw us doing that, and they're like, "Fucking kids going into Penhurst again." But we couldn't find a way in, and then we found an air conditioner. And my buddy Jesse was like, "Well, let's kick it in." He kicks it in. He slides his ass fucking backwards into the fucking window that goes. It's in the basement.
Wait, Jesse, your old buddy?
Yeah, you met Jesse?
Yeah. Isn't he like a big guy?
Yeah.
How the fuck did he?
Well, that's why he went in backwards. So he slid in, got down. He looks around, he's like, "Get me out, get me out." I'm like, "Jesse, we just got fucking." He's like, "I'm in the morgue." So he's like freaking out. Of all places, we get in. It's a morgue, and like
I would do the same though.
it's super weird when you're in there too, because all the paperwork's still there. There's just gurneys.
It's like everybody left.
and just left
see
everything. And just left everything.
Dude, like disappeared or just.
I was
just
never
like,
in there,
everybody
dude.
out.
That's crazy.
Wouldn't recommend it, because the night ended with 15 cop cars behind one car, and
Yeah,
we're
I'm
like,
not trying to
me
have
and Jesse
that,
walking
so
down, we're like, we're going
15?
to jail. It was maybe not 15, maybe it was like 7 or 8, but they were lined down.
They had like
one
backup.
car. They had backup to backup to backup.
We had one cop.
Yeah, lucky you, because when we were walking,
Well, if they heard smashing and stuff, they might have thought something.
well, no, we didn't. It wasn't loud enough where they know that, but we were walking back, and a cop just funded like his like light from his car. We all ran up the hill. There was like 10 of us scattered around, and he caught one of them going back to the car, and then we know you have more people, so they call all of us. We're like, no, we're not doing it. And me and Jesse are like, dude, I'm sick of running around. Let's just go down, take the punishment. Let's go. We walk down. There's lights behind. It was Cody and Kyla, and dude, I'm like, Jesse, we are going to jail tonight. And the only reason he's like, did you guys get in? We're like, no. He's like, you're lying. We're like, no, we didn't get in. He's like, you have asbestos all over your clothing, so it's just white powder everywhere. And
He's just trying to scare you. It wasn't asbestos. It was probably
What?
plaster.
No, it is asbestos, bro.
Yeah, you'll see.
That building is asbestos, covered in asbestos.
The whole thing.
It's an old ass building.
What the hell are you talking
Asbestos was used to coat like pipes and ductwork.
Yeah,
It wasn't like the whole building wasn't built out of fucking asbestos.
No,
I know, but
well,
like,
you climb through it
when
and all
there's
that
shit,
stuff. Yes.
Yeah, when there's shit
Before
missing,
they used
you
like
can
the
fucking
fiberglass
see
packing and stuff, like they used fucking asbestos. Asbestos was the most common thing used for insulator.
Yeah.
it. And when there's ceilings
So
missing and
yes,
shit, and
everything
fucking
was
just-
down. The walls, like you're rubbing against stuff. That's all asbestos. All
You
of
or
it.
your loved ones have ever been diagnosed with
Mesophilioma.
I actually have. By the time my grandfather died, dealing with asbestos.
I'm sorry.
How dare you? I've never met him. So.
I have offended.
But like, did you see anything?
No, we got in there and for maybe 10, 15 minutes, and then Kyla and Brittany were like, "You guys aren't ghost hunters. Let's get out of here." It's like, dude, we just drove all the way here. You fucking
It's
park
not
your ass
close.
outside.
I mean, it's a little,
it's
like a super
it's like an
footprint.
hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes or something
What
like
town
that.
is that in?
Oh
I forget
shit!
where- I was
didn't
just there.
drive.
I was just there last Halloween for.
Oh, you went to
thing.
the haunted attraction?
Yeah,
Was it
yeah.
good?
No.
Matt said when he went, it was just like an assembly line, so you would see the people getting scared in front of you.
Yeah.
You already know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
like,
that's
"Boo!"
pretty much how it happened. You're
that's-
paying like $40 for that.
Yeah, it's-
so.
That sounds like Dorney Park is better.
probably is.
Because Dorney Park, there was a few that like.
Well, when a guy came out the chainsaw, like when it's rutted, but there's no blades in it, that was kind of freaky. But.
yeah.
Yeah, I imagine
They did
that's
that.
pretty
They
weird.
did that at the Sailorsburg one too.
Really?
Watch people do
the
that, but
Sailors
they
did
never
it.
did it to me. I went there with Jesse and Wook, and when we were on our way out, like when we were staying in line, we saw people getting chased out with the guy with the chainsaw. And when we did it, we didn't fucking see it. I'll tell you what though, the most scariest thing at that one, even though we're talking about paranormal fucking bullshit, but that shit was fucking scary as fuck in the one room. If you ever get a chance to go there, I don't know if they still have it, but for Halloween, go to that Sailorsburg hotel.
Yeah.
Because the one room is literally, it's just an all white room. And they fucking put you in it and the lights are just blinking.
It's like strobing.
And you, as the lights are blinking, you see a fucking dude in like a doctor's like get up and like a weird mess of shit. And he's just standing there in the middle of the room with like a fucking, like a doctor bed, like or a patient bed fucking sitting there. And he just has his back towards you. And then I seen some fucking like lady with like black hair and like
A gown and stuff.
gown shit in the corner. And I'm like, while we were going through rooms throughout the whole thing, we were switching people like who was in front out of the three of us. So we're like, all right, so you go this room.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
your
in the
turn.
fucking front. I fucking literally looked. I stopped right at the thing, saw a dude. I was like, fuck this. I literally ran through the fucking room. I was like, because I know, dude, if I was...
That's scarier than people just jumping out of a corner.
Oh, yeah, because, dude, you could... And I'm pretty...
The anticipation of what's going to happen.
Because it was like you walked into the room and you had the whole room to your right, pretty much. And the next door was at the end of the room to the left.
Yeah.
I literally just I started walking
Flip
real
straight
slow.
ahead.
I started walking real slow, and I seen the guy slowly moving towards us, and I was like, "Fuck this!" I ran right through, and I was
Not
like,
doing
That's scary.
So
It's weird and it's scary, and everything else I didn't have a problem with.
when you went, did you feel weird at all? Like
At
weird
Penhurst?
is the best. Yeah.
No, because it's so packed. You don't even have a chance. Like it's.
See, that
Yeah.
sucks, man.
Yeah.
Because
When they make it an attraction like
Well,
that,
I heard
it
they
changes
used-
the
Yeah,
whole
let me
thing.
actually
I
bring it
had
up.
to wait. I mean, there was
Let me actually go ahead. No, keep
there were
talking,
so
guys. I
many
want to take a picture
people
of
that I had to.
Penhurst.
I think I had to wait an hour and a half to get through the fucking line.
God.
Yeah, it was like once
At
I
that
went
point,
there,
so much different
it
shit's
was
running through your head. You're like, is this even worth?
I was there
You're
with a
thinking
girl. I'm like, am I getting fucking laid tonight? You know, like, at that point, like,
But you're thinking about all kinds of other shit.
I wasn't really.
should bring up- you should
that's
bring up the picture of
That's
the
not
morgue.
a picture. That's a painting.
No, that's a picture. It's just like a really good
Wow.
picture.
detailed, fixed.
See, I was there at night. Jesus, that's
Yeah.
creepy.
Yo,
Just
when
the-
you were there, did you
See, that's the kind of shit we saw.
Yeah.
Was like, and it's like dangerous, man. Like you're walking through that. That's not safe. Like you should.
No, and we didn't go up the
Yeah.
stairs either because the floor was collapsing.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we were
dude.
like, "Fuck that."
That's why they don't want kids in there. They don't care if you're just trying to get scared.
Well,
But
you do know-
we saw
If
shit like
someone
that.
falls-
yeah, the
man.
beds in it. Like there was beds, like
Yeah.
just like this sitting in there.
What the fuck? Yeah, that's creepy. It was at night. And
See,
then,
no,
yeah,
see now
So no,
I've seen
that's
this,
stupid
but
shit.
there was a plenty of people around. So I mean, I've seen.
Yeah,
a
so
lot
you've
of this
seen,
shit.
but like
that's
even
the kind of shit we saw, and everything
this-
was covered in debris, like all over the floor, like that. You know.
even this paint too. Like this is all like lead-based paint all over the fucking walls, and like it's just chipping off. It's like not a place for a bunch of kids to be roaming around.
And then when it's tourist thing, they actually have like ropes around this thing, so like they'll
So you
please don't
can't go in
touch,
certain
don't
areas.
touch.
Yeah. Well, you know who
That's
owns?
set up.
Yeah, no shit.
Well, yeah, you know who owns Penhurst, right? It's National Guard.
Oh yeah, because they have like there's a base out
Yeah,
there.
it's right next to it. And
Yeah,
that's,
yeah.
that's another reason. Like when we were
Yeah,
finding
get
out we're
the
gonna go
fuck
there,
out of
we're like, yeah, I don't know if we should do this. We can actually probably go to
Yeah,
jail.
We try to find one with like the strapped beds, because that's what we saw. We saw beds with straps.
I would have took that fucking wheelchair.
So
There was a wheelchair.
What do you mean
there.
the actual like gurneys?
Yeah, no, there was no. It was like a fucking table and like it looked like an operating room and it had straps on it. It was
Papoose.
Hold on, there actually might be.
When I worked at mental health meeting, that's we had to throw his because he's getting papoose.
Beer fest.
Beer
Penhurst
fest.
Beer Fest.
How you spell gurney?
G-U-R-N-E-Y.
Journey with a G.
Make sure you make yourself look like an idiot right now.
I know,
None of us know.
dude. None of us know how to
I've
spell
never-
gurney.
Yeah, I never.
Gurney.
Yeah,
G-E.
Penhurst bed.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, there
Why
we
you just
go.
put journey? Just
Like
with the G.
some of those.
Yes, gurney.
Maybe it is.
That thing,
Which one?
bottom right, second. Yeah.
Oh, we did see that too. No, this is
That's
a
a
dentist
fucking
chair.
dentist chair, man.
It's a dentist chair.
Why was that in Penhurst?
Because they probably
They
did.
gotta
They
do
still,
something.
yeah.
Oh,
mental health places. They have like their own dentists and stuff. So
I've never
Yeah.
been in a dentist chair like that.
See,
Oh,
fuck is
Jesus
that?
Christ!
There's-
That's a person, dude. That's
Yeah.
like when it was still open.
no, that wasn't a person.
Yeah.
yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
look
What's
at
the
the
person
girl
look
all
right
curled
there?
up.
They're curled up.
Hold up.
Put the specs on.
Yeah, I wish I could find like.
See that?
fuck,
yeah,
dude.
that's like crazy, man. Like they treated, and the people like that,
Hold
they
on,
didn't know
I
what was
got-
wrong with them. They
Look
had
up
no
like
idea.
historic, more like historic.
Hold on, I want to
pictures.
be Penhurst children, and like I could get pictures of it.
Historic, like
Oh.
silent children. Yeah.
And this is the kind of shit where people get these ideas about ghosts being violent.
Like I mean, dude, look at
And
that top one.
malicious.
Look
Because
at look at this.
Fucking treated like.
Like what is that? What is
Fucking
going
naked
on
dude.
there?
Yeah, and like, dude, it's weird too, cause like they would just roam around everywhere.
Search it. Just search.
Hold on, I wanted to see this one back here, cause this one looked actually. Where did I see that? Did I go too far back now?
You had to be sick to work there too, man. You have to be.
Like you would just
Whoa.
drop your kids off. Like
Is she in a
probably-
wedding gown?
No, dude,
No.
that's like a fucking.
How do you know,
What is
dude?
that? It looks like
That's not
she's
even
wearing
at-
a veil,
that's
dude.
not even at a that's not.
How do you know? How do you know
Dude, it's on
that?
a street with tons of cars.
Maybe that's where they're dropping her off right now. They got in the car. They're taking
No,
it to it.
dude.
All right.
That's not. That's
Well,
getting her
anyway.
ready.
Anyway, so no one's been there and felt weird. I saw like shit floating around. People kept calling them orbs. The one dude got a really good picture with one in it, and it's there. It's in the picture. I haven't seen him in years. I couldn't tell you
Yeah.
if I could get the picture or not.
Yeah.
But it's it's like it could just be a fucking piece of dust that the flash picked up.
Yeah, yeah.
It's probably what it is, but there's like a white ball in the picture, like, and it's like, okay, that's creepy. And it just the whole time, it just felt like somebody was standing right behind you.
You get that feeling too because you know what you're getting yourself into already, like, or you don't know. Maybe you do a little bit.
I wonder how many deaths actually like occurred there. Look up how many.
Well, you can check that right now.
Like you know what I mean? Because then that's how you know like it could actually be potentially.
Just type Penhurst death toll.
How many days till Christmas?
Whatever, it doesn't make a difference. I'll find it.
Shame of Pennsylvania.
Weird
New Jersey. It's not in Jersey.
Yeah.
It's in Pottstown?
Yeah, but
Is that where it is?
I think it's on the outside.
the thing is, too, is whatever number they
Yeah.
give you, if they give you, it's probably not accurate because of how many even freaking cover
Right
up.
here. So Penhurst
1908.
first opened in November of 1908, and due to the pressure to accept not only the mentally ill, so physically handicapped people
too,
went there too, not
Oh, Jesus.
not just people that
So
are
they
mentally
probably
ill,
train them like shit, too.
but also immigrants. So immigrants would go
criminals,
there. Criminals.
and orphans.
So this is the other thing I was reading about.
It's
You
just
would
a fucking shit.
yeah, you would have people. You would have people like people that were criminals
Like a
that aren't
fucking-
mentally ill, like
Amongst
basically
the mentally ill.
Yeah, and just being predators and like.
And then you
taking-
also have criminals put in there with that.
yeah.
What? Like, this is like a fucking concentration camp.
It sounds like it, right?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was overcrowded within a few years. In 1913, the Commission for the Care of the Feeble-Minded was appointed and boldly stated those with disabilities were unfit for citizenship.
Holy
so not only could you not stay, you had to take them to these places.
Wow.
And that was like, what, 1913?
Pose the menace
Even
to
if
the
you were
peace.
epileptic.
Wow. So let's see what the
I think epilepsy, they used to think that you're like freaking possessed when you're having seizures.
2,791 people
Yeah.
could
So
live there.
that's how many fucking things were in that.
Yeah,
period.
all of them are on, like, all these buildings are connected with underground tunnels to
Dude,
each single
yeah,
one.
and if you,
Are
like,
you
we
fucking
went
kidding
to
me?
the
Yeah,
tour. We had to
it's-
go. We went because
The tunnels,
hop
yeah,
through,
yeah.
You have to wait and like you can buy tickets for like 4 of
And
them.
each one
you
of
can't
these-
go to all of them. I know that.
Yeah, because a lot of them are really bad, like just falling
Well, I
apart.
think you can go buy the ticket for 4 different run
Dude, that's
times.
fucking crazy. Like just to think about like that back then. Like
So where's the death toll?
Yeah, do we have
by the 1980s, overcrowding, lack of funds.
You
So
see
it
this?
was the
Oh, you see
1980s.
on
87 it closed its doors.
Yeah.
Falling short of their ideal
Right
treatment
before I was born. That's
So the
crazy.
year I
Short
was
for
born, it
fulfillment,
closed.
Only 9 medical doctors and 11 teachers.
Yeah, between, I think, what did they say, 2,791 people. So you had 9 medical doctors.
dude.
And then 11
You
teachers.
know damn well they're doing experiments and shit.
Of
on
course
those
they were.
But even if they weren't doing it, like, but still, 9 doctors for almost 3,000 people.
that many people.
This is where you're trying to make Captain America. Jesus. But who died?
Well, you ever see that too? How they
Why is it on weird New Jersey?
It's weird New Jersey. They just do a bunch of
They
things.
got nothing fun except
Well, they
the
have
Jersey
another.
Devil.
They have another
Yeah,
thing.
that's-
There's actually a book called Weird
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, where it's
And they have
Yeah,
New
that's what
Jersey.
we
It might
used
be
to,
one of the.
when we were younger.
we
We,
go
We
used
used to go to them, yeah.
because Troy had that book.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
I would grab it.
freaking
a lot of the shit's right in Bucks County.
Well,
A
yeah,
lot of
a lot of,
shit.
and were you with when we went? We went to Centralia.
Yes.
No,
And-
I was there
yeah, you were there
I was
too.
there.
And that was when
Yeah.
I took off into the woods and I was scared
and
to
we were
fuck
like
it.
looking down the.
So we go to Centralia. You ever hear like Centralia?
I know Centralia,
Like,
yeah.
okay, you know,
Silent Hill.
Yeah,
Fucking,
yeah.
Yeah, we didn't ever wear there, so we were thinking it was like. So we're taking all these fucking.
We
Dude, they were.
drove a fucking. We piled like 14 people into a fucking Ford Explorer.
Yeah,
Fucking driving over down through this like trail, and so we all get out and we all start walking down this trail and shit like that, and we're in the dark. And only a couple people had like flashlights, and then we're all looking behind us. I remember like being at the front of the group with a couple of the guys, and I know where we go. Wait, where's Steve?
yeah, we thought I got like taken.
Yeah, we thought you got like fucking
What,
like.
you like shit and ran
No,
away?
everyone started walking, so I just like, I'm gonna fuck with them, so I just stayed by the fort.
Stay by the
Dude,
fucking-
we're all booking
And
bags.
then, and then I pop my
running.
head and I hear, go, oh my god, there's someone over by the fucking thing. And then
He was like,
they,
"Oh, it's
they
Steve."
start running back and the thing ready to like.
You guys were like standing on graffiti highway and freaking out.
No, we
No,
didn't.
we
No,
didn't even
dude,
find that.
Dude,
Oh, you didn't even
We
find
took
your
the
feet
wrong
out.
turn and we
Yeah.
were going through
Yeah,
other
your
shit.
buddy Jesse there was
Jesse
put
was-
us down the wrong path.
he was
for
making
2
it sound like
hours.
he was picturing it like the movie where like is like this bridge that goes over like in the actual movie, and what we were on for like 20 minutes is a fucking dirt bike trail.
Yeah.
So we're just cruising a fucking Ford Explorer.
We
We're gonna find it. I was like, dude, let's not do
No,
this.
what's funny about that town is it's like not really too many people died because of those coal fires.
No,
like,
it's just
and they made like a story up where like, oh, fucking 1,000 miners died at once, and now it's a super haunted town. And then Silent Hill came out.
the Silent Hill is what really
Yeah.
did it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie.
But and the
the game itself,
that game
yeah.
scared the shit out of me when I was
Fuck
a kid.
yeah, dude.
And really all it is just a really dangerous town that you probably shouldn't go wandering around in
You
because
see
there's like
smoldering shits.
Yeah.
That you don't even see that anymore because it's so far down under that. The last time me and Amanda were there,
we were like,
yeah, we
that
did
was-
see it.
Dude,
Yeah,
that was
we
like
saw it.
10 years ago.
Yeah,
at this point,
and we
so
we did
That was
see
a
the
while
smoldering
ago, yeah.
coming out of
Yeah.
the ground, and we didn't actually go to the graffiti highway, but me and
Yeah, we
Amanda ended up going to the graffiti highway, and we
You can
actually
still feel how warm the ground is.
the
when you go
ground's
there.
still warm, like the actual I mean
Yeah.
what the hell is it?
I want to go there when it
Concrete or-
snows and see like if it even like sticks.
That's,
You know what I mean?
Ooh.
You know what I mean? And see like see if it's
see
just
the
like if
ground's,
it's
like,
so warm that it
Well, yeah, then
doesn't,
why
like,
would it
res-
though? It probably just
or like how
melt.
fast it melts.
Weird science.
You know, instead of weird New Jersey, it's weird science.
That was probably one of the, like, it has a cool story behind it, but it's not really a fun place to really go.
no,
You know,
it's just-
like how many how
It
many
wasn't worth the 2.5 hour drive.
No, no.
how many other ghost stories that are like in these like weird Pennsylvania books or whatever you want to call them? Are there any Centralia ghost stories? No, there aren't. You know why? Because
It's just
there
an eerie
was like a
it's
couple
just-
of people that died by
Yeah.
mishaps.
It's just a cool.
you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
just
a
an
It's
eerie
a
cool
fucking
thing
mine.
that doesn't
It's
ever
a fucking
happen.
mine.
yeah.
I mean, what do you expect
It's
to
just
happen?
burning. It's just so
The
much.
township actually knew about that too, and there was something where they kind of dropped the ball, and they could have prevented it.
Before they
how
waited
many-
too
how-
long,
They waited too long,
and then they
and there was
tried to do a
nothing-
couple
and
things,
there was
and it
nothing
didn't
they
do
could
anything.
do,
Yeah.
They fucked
And
around too much.
what was the population for there again? Was it only?
It was a whole town.
It was pretty big. Yeah, it was
No,
like
I'm
pretty.
saying now then.
There's
now
it was
it's
like
on-
one or two people.
I think there's like
I
don't
two
think there's-
families that.
I don't
still
even think
live
there's
there,
one
yeah.
anymore. I thought I read something not too long ago that they finally were
See, I know when we
evicted
went.
out of there.
When we went, I think there was under 50 people.
Yeah,
I
I
think-
remember
yeah.
it was
I think it
definitely.
was
What's the
under-
town next to it?
I forget. I
remember-
just remember we
I
drove
forget.
to it at one point. We were
Yeah.
like,
Because we asked
We're
for
Centralia.
Yeah, we asked
Yeah.
for directions.
they're
after
like,
we
yeah,
drove
go
through
back there. We're like,
Centralia.
dude, we drove through.
There was
here.
nothing there.
And then he's probably like, yeah, because there is nothing.
There is nothing.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to get there too. It's pretty hard to get there.
Oh, we were.
No, it's all the
No,
way down.
it's-
No, it's
it's
all the way
all-
Well,
down.
they kind of like blocked most of it off, though. They kind of like make sure that you can't really
Well, no,
just
you can.
accidentally drive in there. You know,
No,
We
it's still
fucking-
it's just one. It's a highway that goes all the way through it.
Yeah.
I mean, but then you can drive off. But there's nothing like if you didn't
Well,
know
we
that's what it
definitely-
was. If there was something there, you would never even think anything
We
of it.
definitely
you just went
drove
right
through
it.
the wrong area.
Well, we did. That
I
was
remember-
probably
I remember going
Thanks,
to the
Jesse.
cemetery.
yeah.
Yeah, fuck you, Jesse. I remember going to the cemetery. The cemetery was kind of.
We went there again, me and
what
Amanda. That was
cemetery
pretty
isn't
cool.
weird? You go fucking
Yeah, that's
put
true.
No, but
flowers
it's
on
weird.
your grandmom's grave,
It's
and
just
you
weird
feel
because
weird.
it's right
See,
there.
we
It's
tried to
right
get
there.
into Gettysburg when we were out there. And that closed up at 7 every night.
But I think it was just
That would
weird
be
though
trying to
because
do.
I mean I don't care for cemeteries.
probably be-
If I
yeah.
walk into a cemetery, I don't fucking. I used to walk through the cemetery here all the time. Walk through it. I don't give a fuck.
Nighttime, you kind of
I don't really.
you walk around.
I don't care.
A lot
I
of
don't really.
That doesn't bother me. But
a lot of
fucking-
ghost hunters will say like they don't do cemeteries because it's like that's like all spirits that have been.
Yeah, supposedly
Yeah,
when there's
like,
ghosts,
you're not
they
gonna-
latch onto places that meant something to them when
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
were alive.
They
Yeah,
said
so
even-
a graveyard's not going to mean anything like.
No,
That's
it's
where you
where,
put
it's
my
where your
body.
body's
I died
put.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
But
where
no,
your
like
body's
that's
put
what I'm
under.
saying. But like when we went even to the, I thought it was a little weird going into that graveyard. I think it was just weird because of the placement of it. It was literally right next to where everything was.
Yeah, the whole town because the town that was the
You know, 'cause-
graveyard for
'cause
the
you're
town. where-
you're literally walking through the area where you could see like small things of smoke coming from the ground still.
yeah.
And then you walk
Burning corpse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
And then you walk
Smell
a little
that?
bit. You walk a little bit, and then there's just a graveyard. There's just a random graveyard in the middle of it, and it's the graveyard looks perfectly fucking
Yeah.
fine. It looks just like a normal graveyard. I think there was like a fence or something around.
There was
it.
they have a fence around it, and
Yeah.
like you can just go through and walk around. But
Yeah.
like we were there at the end of the night, and we were kind of just like walking around, looking at everything. There was actually a couple people pulling up to walk around, look at everything. It was actually pretty cool on like the graffiti
Well, it's-
highway
it's been
though,
on, like, TV
because there's like
shows.
dune buggies driving down, ripping down the highway and stuff.
It's been on TV shows now, so people just
Well,
St.
yeah,
Clair.
yeah.
St. Clair. That's the town that's next to it. People still live in St. Clair.
Oh, okay.
That's probably the one that we
Yeah.
drove to.
Yeah, I had to ask for directions at
The gas station.
Because we were looking for a fucking. Because that's the thing, we were listening to what Jesse was saying.
We left.
Yeah.
I think we left at like 1:00 in the afternoon. We didn't find it till about 6 at night.
Well, we went the wrong ways because me and Amanda. Man, how long did it take us to get there?
It was dark because we.
I think she was.
Oh, she's not over there.
I think we met up with. We just saw you at a gas station. Like, yo, hop in. We're going to some trailer, and everyone just started.
Yeah,
hopping
it didn't.
in,
When we went there, because we knew exactly
It was
where we were
like-
going, because we actually didn't do it like a bunch of fucking
Kind of whack it.
younger people and be like, yeah, we're going on a road
I'd
trip.
be offended if you didn't whack it.
Oh.
For those of those listening, I'm not actually whacking it.
What are you doing? How do they know?
I'm drinking out of the flask. I like to say, whack it.
He's whacking it.
I'm not whacking it. 4 dudes, 1 guy's beating off, right? Oh, God. Anyway, so let's get off this Centralia shit, because we're talking about ghosts.
Yeah,
There's no ghosts
okay.
in Centralia.
I can do a good one here. This will
Yeah,
be.
there
We'll,
you go.
we'll start it with Todd's house.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, because you guys were talking about this last
Yeah,
So
time.
have you ever been there?
I've
I
never
know
been
you
to Todd's.
haven't, but
No, I've been to Todd's house.
Have you been to Todd's
Sheets.
house?
Have you been to Sheets?
Wait, no, that wasn't.
No,
Todd's house.
I don't think it's
in,
that.
where
Todd.
he used to live. Before
No,
he-
it wasn't Todd's house.
Okay.
No.
That other fucking guy. I don't
Peter? Even to Peter's
yeah,
house.
yeah,
I've been to
Even to Peter's house.
Hi, Pete.
Hi, Pete.
Do you still have all of his like hippie
I
posters
don't
up
fucking
and his
care.
tapestries?
I don't care.
No, I don't. He doesn't like Peter.
Oh,
He comes across a little. If you don't know Peter, he comes across a little cocky.
yeah, you gotta know.
A little,
Pete,
yeah, a little cocky and
Hi, Pete.
condescending.
I've had like
Peter.
3 interactions with them, and it's pretty much had the same opinion. But
Yeah,
neither here
so
nor
that's.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Don't judge
that's
me.
like I've had a lot of weird shit happening since I was a kid, like fucked up shit. I don't really know why, but the worst one I've had, and I was older, so I can't even rule it out to like, oh, I was just a kid, I was scared of everything. I didn't have a nightlight on. Wasn't nothing like that. But
I had a nice Batman night.
I think I did too. Maybe it was Power Rangers, but anyway.
I had a Land Before.
Oh, I had
Time
that too.
nightlight.
Ooh, that was one of my favorites.
Littlefoot.
Yeah, that's a classic right there.
That dude was a bitch.
He was an actual bitch in the beginning of the movie.
Anyways, let's go.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, you got a milkshake spill.
Yep.
Aw.
Now, Dad, we ain't got no paper towels out here.
Oh, we'll do it again. 2 in a row. That's why you bring
Yeah,
a hanky.
wipe it off of that.
Look at that.
Look, you ruined the coaster, Derek.
That's
I'll
what
bring you
coaster's
another. I got a
for.
bunch.
I know. I'm fucking kidding.
So we got it.
Oh, look at that.
The hanky.
The hanky.
Thank you, Amanda.
I don't
The
blow my nose in that
Christmas
hanky on the record.
That's actually one episode from South Park that I do remember. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas.
Oh, that's like one of the worst ones.
I'm just saying.
If you're gonna rule
I
it
mean,
off,
that's not gold like some of the other ones.
yeah, if you're gonna rule your bases on South
Oh,
Park
let's not talk
on
about
that.
South Park because I
Right.
can't stand
Okay,
it.
well, anyway.
Todd's house.
Yes, Todd's house.
No, who's
I-
Todd? Who's Todd?
Todd Sheets is one of me and Colin's buddies. I was friends with him since I was like 12 or 13.
Oh, you were younger than that. Because I met you when you were...
No, I met him when I was like
Oh,
12 or
we led
13.
You guys knew each other before I knew.
Yeah,
you
but
guys,
not
so.
that much longer. But
yeah, I mean, what is it? Shepherd Hills area, little development
yeah.
in the Lehigh
I
Valley.
know where that's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. But the weird thing is, I never had anything ever happen to me ever once there ever. I slept there like so many times since I
That
was a
house
kid.
is creepy as shit.
Yeah, but the weird thing
Is
is,
it creepy or is it haunted?
well, no,
It's
no.
fucking haunted, dude.
But wait, let me say the backstory because
No, it's fucking haunted.
every weekend I would stay over there because I lived in the same development as him, so we would
You
just
sound
sleep over
terrified.
there.
I don't like that house, dude. I don't like. I've run out of his front door, and he's like, "What are you doing?" Like he would call me, like after I got in my car, at like 3 a.m, because I'd stay there and we'd get all fucking high and watch Trailer Park Boys, watch movies, play Halo 3.
I think you were touched by a ghost for the very first time.
Dude, honestly, every time I walked down his stairs, every time, even if he was with me, like if I would go out to smoke, like we'd go out on his back porch, and it just always felt like someone was literally like almost like
Over your shoulders.
yeah, like right, and it was just like, and his house wasn't scary.
It
His house
wasn't.
it wasn't scary looking, and during the day everything was fine, but at night, even when you had the lights on, dude, it just felt like something was like there, and then like the fucking, maybe it was just the wind, but like his door would always shake. He'd be like sitting in his fucking room watching
Yeah.
movies, and the door would just all of a sudden, and like hard,
And you would see it.
like violent, and
Hold
like
on.
sometimes the doorknob would move, and it would be like,
What is this? Was this during? Do you know if it was during like summer, winter?
that wasn't a fucking earthquake.
Just
It was
just
all
answer
year.
the question.
Okay, so like we played.
Anytime you've been out.
It was like the 2 years after Halo 3 came out, and everyone was playing Halo 3 hard.
okay. But,
Every day.
Yeah, like,
It was like 2008, 2007, 2008, bro. Like that's all
do
we
you
did.
remember a specific
Not
time
relevant to
during,
anything,
you know,
but-
summer, like winter?
it was all year.
All year.
I would
Anytime
go.
you
Yeah, I would go to his house. I used to work until
I'm
about.
just saying because sometimes like
No
when-
rhyme or reason to it. It just
Yeah,
happened.
well, I used to go to. I used
The
to
only
work.
reason
in-
I asked that is because you know there's times like when I'm at my house, people say that the old owners of my house actually say that my house is haunted. I don't believe it.
I'm talking about settling.
Like
No,
selling.
like-
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He was
Like,
talking
cause,
about.
like sometimes during the summer, like if I have my windows open, some stupid shit will happen to my door because my door's old.
We used to have the
It's an older
window
house.
open because we would be smoking pot, and we didn't want
Yeah.
his parents to smell it.
Yeah,
You know, his dad was a non-vet.
and all.
You know, didn't want to piss him off.
Yeah.
Nice guy, but
Yeah, don't
didn't
push
want
him.
him.
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't want to go all nom on you.
Oh, he's seeing it over there already.
Yeah.
Paul was great.
Paul was funny.
Yeah.
Bobby, hey, Bobby.
Bobby, hey.
Yeah, Bobby, hey.
Um,
Puppet Raymond.
But yeah, no, I just fucking hated being in there, man. And then when you told me that story, I was like, no shit, because it was like, you know, I know something's going on there.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, what he was telling me too, nothing ever happened. So this might have happened after that, because Todd's like, nothing ever happened in my house. And he told me some shit that happened to him after that shit happened to me. And then he's like, he was telling me like a time after about the shit that happened to you. But let's start from the beginning then, because I used to sleep every weekend. I never had any problems. Nothing ever scary happened to me.
Yeah.
You just go there, hang out, go to bed. Like
yeah, when
never,
we were younger too, I would go over every once in a while and stay over and nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. It didn't happen until I think I was 21, 22, or maybe somewhere around there. I think it was like 21 because it was like 2008, I think, or something like that. But we were done. We just got done smoking, hanging out, doing whatever we're doing. And then he's like, all right, we're going to bed. Like, hey, I'm tired. So he left the room. I have the lights on still. I'm like, he had a futon against the wall.
Yeah.
And like, I went to plug my phone in. I already turned the lights off at this point. So I'm sitting back down. I'm plugging my phone in. And my phone light is shining up at the ceiling. And I'm plugging it in. All of a sudden I see this figure like where my light's shining. It moves across where like the light's shining. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I jump up real quick, go to turn the light on. Before I did that, dude, I felt like someone punched me in the chest, and I shit you not, all I heard was and I turn the light on, dude, I'm fucking shaking. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I'm trying to think like, what the fuck just happened? I wanted to run out of the house, but I'm like, well, if I go out, it's dark out there. I'm gonna get fucking attacked. And his bedroom is on the other side of the wall.
Common sense goes out the window.
Yeah, I'm knocking on the wall because his bedroom's right here.
Yeah.
I'm fucking banging on it. So he comes over, half asleep. He's like, the fuck are you doing? I was like, let me at your house right now. Let me at your house. He's like, what happened? I was like, Todd, just let me fucking get at your house. And I shit you not, driving home, I went to her house and I was so freaked out. Like, and like, I don't know if, man, did you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, I was that scared where I drove home with the interior car light on.
Are you serious?
Dude, I was so freaked out, dude.
Like, I'm not looking
I
in
know
the mirror. I'm
women-
not looking in the mirror.
I know
dude.
women that do
Dude,
that on the
fucking guy's gonna be-
daily.
Oh, dude, I was so freaked. And I that mirror thing you were talking about, I flipped it so it would flip up so you couldn't look in the back of the car.
Yeah, yeah.
Freaked out so fucking bad. And like the week later, like I talked to him and he's like, dude, what happened that night? I was like, dude, I'll tell you the story, but you won't believe me. He's like, no, the reason I ask you is at the top of his stairs, he used to have
That's where it always was, dude. Was at the top of the fucking
yeah,
steps.
at the top of the stairs, he had a DVD rack and like a movie rack.
Yep.
And it was at the top of the stairs. And he's like, dude, the other night, me and my mom wake up to shit being whipped down the stairs. And someone was whipping DVDs down the stairs. And they like, there's no way they can fall out and go down the stairs. Yeah. So they come out and there's all these DVDs and movies all down the flight of stairs. He's like, what did you bring to my house? I was like, dude, I've never had a problem at your house ever. There was that night, and then a week later, and then whenever it happened,
Well, he
whatever happened
called
to
me
you.
when it happened to you, and he was like, "Yo, I think you're right, man." And nothing really happened to me there. I just always felt like somebody.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I'd go to the bathroom, you know, you taking a piss, and then the shower curtain would just start like fucking waving, not like moving a little bit, like moving like 5-6 inches, and it was like. What?
It was
Why
like-
is this happening?
There's no
It was
window
a
in
ghost
this,
rapist.
there's no window in this room.
Yeah.
So like I would hate taking a shit there because I have to be in there for a while.
Oh, I would have
You know?
took advantage of
Yeah.
it. But you're smelling my shit. You
Nah, dude, and like we'd go down the stairs. Like seriously, we'd go down the stairs, and sometimes like I'd be like, "Yo, Todd, can you go first?" And
Until it pushes you down the stairs, and then you both break your necks.
well, like funny shit just happened there. It's just weird shit. Like sometimes, like
Oh, I've been in houses that are like that.
yeah, it was
too.
just weird.
I've never really.
But
I mean, I've had one. I mean, I've never like I said before. Like my brother said, like the people that used to own or rent my house, they said that it was haunted, and they had a specific name for this ghost that fucking lived in this house. They said they've seen it numerous times. I've never seen shit.
Guy Mansman.
Guy Mansman.
I forget what the fuck they named it, but it was a really stupid fucking name. And I remember they said that, like, because like when you go to my house, if you're sitting in my living room, you could see to the right, you could see the stairs going upstairs. Yeah. They would say that they would see the ghost peek his head around, do this, or like they would see him and be like, "Oh hi," you know, because.
See, that just gets kind of
like. But then
like.
there was one time that I remember it was at least maybe like 5 years ago. I was. I remember it was like it was a random day. My brother fucking Troy comes into me. He goes, "Dude, I had a weird experience last night." I said, what happened? He's I don't know. You never
I don't
know.
want to hear about it, Troy. I don't want to hear from you, Troy.
I don't know about you.
Troy, all right. Get out of my room, Troy.
Yeah. But he goes, dude, like something weird happened last night. And the way it was, like when you come up my steps, like you go up the first flight, you turn full 180, and you go up another flight of steps. As soon as you get to the top steps, my old room was to the right. Their room, my Troy's room, and my other brother Joel, they both were in the same room.
Wait, was it this building?
Yes. No.
Your current one.
My current house.
Oh,
My
I
current house.
thought this was like the one down.
No.
Oh, okay.
My current house now.
This one's haunted.
You're dead. You're
But
fucking dead.
they shared the same room when we first moved in there for a while, and he said he was just sleeping one night, and then out of nowhere they had a nightstand between their beds in the same room, and he had a water bottle on there. He's like, yeah, I woke up to just randomly a water bottle just. It seemed like somebody like smacked it off the nightstand.
See that?
And it went flying across the room. And I was just like, I don't know. Like, I don't really, like I have to see something in order to believe.
Yeah.
And maybe for him,
Was Joel in there?
Joel wasn't there that night.
Oh, okay. So I say because
So
Joel is there. Joel would fucking smack.
I remember Joel wasn't there.
Joel,
His brother, his other brother.
Yeah.
His brother. But the thing is,
I
too.
thought you were talking about my son for a second.
Your son?
Yeah, guy trained at work.
There's-
He lives here too.
No.
He says he
thing
knows
is-
you guys, but you guys don't know him.
Oh no! Yeah, I know Joel.
Tom.
Yeah.
Black Joel.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't
I
know.
used to work with him at Rita's, man.
That's my son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he told me he worked at Rita's. That's fucking.
Yeah, I
funny.
worked with him at Rita's. Yeah.
It's my son.
Yeah.
That's my son.
Him and
It's
his
my baby
brother,
boy.
his brother Rob too.
It's
Yeah.
my baby boy.
Oh yeah, Rob. I always forgot.
We got to get him on here.
Black Rob.
Dude,
That's what his name is, Black
Joel,
Rob.
Jimi Hendrix, man. He's
Yeah, Jimi Hendrix.
hair when
Yeah, we got to get him on here, man.
he's a cool
should.
dude.
Yeah, he's got
he's
plenty of
real
shit to
cool
say. He's a great guy.
But the other thing was, another time when I was younger, I dated
Fuck
this.
him, I know him.
I dated this chick, and her family was really into spiritual shit, and her name was Tashina. I don't know. She wasn't black. Everybody always asked that.
Tashina.
Oh, you know what? I remember you talking about
You're
her because I
making
think
this up.
that was my first.
I swear
making
to
this
God.
up.
I'll believe the
No,
rest
no,
of it except
no,
for her
her
name is what I
family-
won't
her
believe.
family-
No, because I think I met her one time.
Her
I think we were at
family
music
was
festival.
of Native American descent. They were all about spirits and shit like
They
that.
call her Dashina?
Yeah. What does that mean in Native?
Tashina.
Her name is Tashina.
Tushina.
It's called Laquetta. Like, Jesus Christ.
She's not black.
Tashina?
Tashina.
Why
Okay,
isn't
so-
it was like runs with polar bears, sir?
Runs with polar
But her
bears.
family was super spiritual, dude. Like, and her mom would apparently connect with spirits and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like,
they're really into that.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm saying she's of
Yeah.
Native American descent.
Okay.
So
That's like
the
that
one
old
time-
shit. These are the kind of reasons that I believe in this stuff.
No,
Because it's like
they
that
go
old,
deep with it.
and they don't believe in God.
They don't.
No, and they're just like, hey, this is of the earth, and the spirits are
Yeah.
coming out of the earth.
They
And it's
believe
like,
a lot
They
in
believe that you
spiritual
like
stuff.
return to like your spot, and then you energize that spot.
But there was-
and that makes sense, doesn't it? It kind of like really makes sense. It makes more sense than fucking Jesus rose out of the ground and flew up to the heavens, and now you...
Fuck Jesus.
What
Jesus
does
yeah,
make
yeah,
more
yeah,
sense than that?
Right. So anyway, just,
But no, her mom came over one time when she came to pick her up. This is when I was younger, you know, and her mom came over to come pick her up. And when her mom came to my house, it was the first time she ever came to my house. And she was talking to my parents, and my parents were talking to her about, you know, we just moved here a couple years ago. The people that used to live here said that there's a ghost.
It's getting easier.
And it's getting easier.
it's good.
And I remember her coming. She was walking around the house, and she came upstairs, and she walked into my room. She goes, "I definitely feel a presence in this room." And
Come on.
No. She's
That's
like,
the kind of shit where I'm like, shut up.
That's where
she's like, I definitely feel something.
Because when you
like,
do feel that,
more.
you don't say it.
No, because they were saying that like they literally had her. And I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna call bullshit. I'm not the one to judge. You know what I mean?
It scares you, right?
It didn't.
That would have creeped me out.
It didn't, because because I've never seen anything in my room. I've never experienced anything in my whole entire house. Apparently Troy has seen it all. Because not too long ago he also said that he's now moved into the room that I used to be in when she said this, and like I was in my room. I'm pretty sure I was playing fucking Xbox with like somebody or one of you fucking assholes, and he comes on, Derek, you gotta come into the room. You gotta come in the room. I'm seeing some weird shit in here. I'm like,
I'm seeing some weird
Broad
shit
daylight.
here, guy.
Broad daylight.
no, it was at night, and I was like,
Yeah, it's the middle
I
of
was
the day.
like, what's going on, man? And he's like, dude, like he has all black curtains. You can't see through them or anything. He's like, dude, I'm looking up by the top of the thing. I can see like light coming through like above where like if any like, you know how there's like a space
car
between,
parked outside.
No, but it's in the back of the house. It's in the back of the house. There's nothing that you can see through the back of the house really. Yeah. Unless you're down. And he's like, I'm seeing like light at the top of like the curtains, and it seems like it's just like flashing and pulsing. And he's like, it's making me believe like there's somebody outside, like out back. And I'm like,
It's like shining a light or something up.
yeah, I'm like,
that.
dude, there's like, there's no fucking way. So I went into his room. I didn't see anything, but like he said it was like in the dark, and I just remember sitting there. I was like in the dark. I'm like, well, it could just be your eyes, dude. Because like as I'm trying to focus on one side, on the other side, my eyes trying to
adjust and do whatever,
and it's still seeing like a light or something like that. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck it is, but he's apparently seen all this shit in my house that I have never seen.
You've never seen anything.
And I've never seen a goddamn
yeah,
thing.
but some people see that stuff and like
Yeah,
Amanda's seen stuff, but her brother totally does not believe in stuff like that. And
But I
she's
believe
seen
in
shit.
it. I believe in it, but it doesn't mean that
Yeah, if you didn't experience it, makes it a little bit different than.
But
if
I've
you-
also experienced the shit with.
Do you believe in the some people are more sensitive to it?
I believe
I
that.
actually believe that.
I believe that because I've been experiencing stuff since I
I
was a
think I do
child.
too, but then that leaves room for fucking bullshitters.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
oh, I'm more sensitive to it.
Well, there's,
Everything I say.
there's people that take advantage of everything to say something that's stupid.
I
like
can
they,
see all of that. Like, what are you, Haley Joel Osment?
I don't know who that is.
The Sixth Sense.
Oh,
Yeah. Like, get out of here. You know what I mean? Like, because like obviously someone who could see all that isn't gonna go walking around being like, oh, I can see ghosts. Like, that would suck ass, dude.
And dude, I feel like most
see
people
them
that
everywhere.
most people that
I
experience
hate
weird
most
shit
real
like
people.
that.
Imagine the ghost.
Actually, you might like him a little bit more. You're a piece of shit.
But
Good point.
Good point.
God, can you imagine that? Because like obviously like it's not like there's any new spots in the world. There's people fucking died everywhere on this planet.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
maybe I'll see someone die today, and it's not actually even there. It's
Imagine
just
if there
some
was like a
fucking
chart where you could actually see like the exact spots, like where everybody died.
Well, like a chart, like someone died right here.
Yeah, died, like where you were standing. Somebody
There's a
died.
dead baby
You
there.
know what
Like a dead baby was here.
So back to Todd's. My only like story was before it happened to you, because that's why he called me after it happened to you.
Yeah.
Was the one night I was halfway down the steps and I literally like jumped 4 or 5 steps.
Just to get down real
Like,
quick.
like a big fucking thud. And like Margie woke up. Like,
Dad, what are you doing?
and I ran out their door, dude. I ran.
Fucking 3 in the morning.
Yeah, it was like 3, 4 in the morning. I was stoned out of my mind, So that I lose credibility there, right?
I'm not gonna believe you.
it literally felt like someone had actually grabbed me on my traps, like and pinched, and I went, I shrugged up and went, oh my, and I just fucking ran, and like I looked behind me and there was nothing there, nothing,
Nothing.
and I just was gone, dude. And Todd called me and he's like, what did you just do? And I was like, dude, he's like,
Why are people running out of my house
yeah,
consistently?
he's
middle
like,
of
did
the night.
you just fall down the steps? I'm like, no, dude, someone fucking grabbed me, man. And he's like, you're crazy, dude. You're so high. And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm high, but like, I'm not crazy, man. I fucking like.
Just a high.
And then and then it got worse. And then that shit happened to you. And then like one night I came back from the bathroom, so it's the straight hall from Todd's room to the bathroom. And then Margie and Paul's bedroom was to the right. And I was coming back to Todd's room from the bathroom, and Margie had woken up, and she grabbed me after I thought I had been grabbed.
So you were like,
I almost punched this.
I was saying, did you
fucking
elbow her in the
sweet.
face?
I almost punched Margie in the face. Can you imagine? Like, did you ever meet Margie?
No.
Oh, dude, she's the
second
greatest-
mother, man.
Fucking greatest lady ever, dude. No,
Margie.
she just fucking
Yeah.
throw food at you. And,
Yeah, eat food,
yeah.
fucking stay over,
She-
drink as
no-
many juice boxes as you want.
No judgment. No
Shit, I
judgment.
definitely love her.
Dude, you could show up on their doorstep with like a needle sticking out of your arm and like dying, and she'd be like, "Come in, you poor thing.
eat some food.
Yeah.
Dude, she used
Yeah.
to walk
She-
down.
that's-
like,
fuel.
She's
Yes,
just
you need food. You look skinny.
She's just such a fucking great lady,
You need a
dude.
Band-Aid.
Like just nothing but love. You know what I mean? Like no judgment, just nothing but
No,
love.
dude,
Yep.
she used to walk down the middle of the night,
Yeah.
dude, like 4 teenagers high as shit, and we were throwing cupcakes in the ceiling fan, and she walked around, alright, and she just walked upstairs.
And she let you have fun. You know what I mean? Like she knew that we weren't hurting anybody. You know what I mean? So it was like, but like. I almost punched this lady in
We
the
got away
face,
with a lot of
and
stupid
she like
shit.
went, "Woo!" Like,
Oh, Melody!
and
Well, not quite like
And
that,
like-
like a black lady, but
then we told her like the stories, and then all of a sudden she was saying that that her father died in the house.
That's one thing that me and Todd were talking about before, like, her father
Fucking smoke.
stayed there and he died, but that was years before that.
But he had died in that house.
He died in like
much,
2001, 2002, somewhere around
Yeah,
there.
like, yeah.
But that was years before all that started happening,
Yeah.
which is kind of weird. But then Tom was like, dude, maybe it's my grandpa.
Yeah,
It's like, I don't know, dude. Why would your grandpa be trying to scare the shit out of people? Like, I don't really get that. Why is your grandpa growling at me in the middle of the
You
night?
know what? And I know someone who, Ruben, his sister grew up in family friend of mine's childhood house, Hills. He had a sister who died when she was 15.
Yeah.
And Ruben always told me, my buddy always told me growing up that he would see a little girl running through his house.
Yeah.
it's always a little girl.
Yeah. And then my
If
buddies
you can see it, dude. Like that's my other.
They'll seduce
Well,
you.
they said too, like they would be like brushing their teeth and look up in the mirror, and there'd be a girl standing behind them.
Oh,
No, really?
Oh, that's
Yes.
scary.
That's what they said. Yeah.
I'd shit my
Yes.
pants.
They
didn't
said
have to shit?
nothing like you guys happened with getting thrown. Nothing like that ever happened. So they kind of like over the years.
That would be more
But
scary to me.
now-
Like,
Even if
Now-
I didn't have to shit, if I seen that, I'd shit my pants.
Now his sister
Yeah.
dated a family member of mine and went to.
Instant dump.
It was like I said. It was.
it's a conversation stopper.
Automatic poop button.
Like, instant dump. Okay, go ahead, Steve.
God,
She came over. She was dating a family member of mine who.
sorry.
All right, get it out so we can just...
I'm gonna piss my pants. So, family friend of mine grew up in that house as a kid. His sister died, blah blah. And my buddy, his parents bought it, saw the little girl and stuff. You know, we never said anything because when we heard about it and we knew that we're like, we're not saying anything. We're not gonna fucking say anything. Freak either of them out.
Yeah.
She came over to his house one day, saw. All of a sudden, got real.
Come on. What are you...
listening. I'm laughing at this fucking.
I know, it's like we're feeding off each other. I'm trying to hear that. I'm like, I'm listening to it.
She came into
just
the
seeing
living.
over
She
here.
came into the living room, and all of a sudden she was drinking. She was talking. All of a sudden she stopped and just like got real weird and just like quiet.
Yeah.
Here later the next day, she said she saw the picture of the little girl that she was seeing in the house.
dude,
That ruins everything.
He had-
How old was your cousin? The girl. The girl.
This girl. I mean, at the time that she said this, she was 25.
Okay, so
Oh.
No.
How old was the little
She was
girl?
15.
when she died, so it
Okay.
was like a family.
No, I
like-
thought you were talking about like a little kid said this to you.
No.
Oh, that's even creepier.
No. So she might. I mean, I don't know. She's a couple of years
Wait,
old.
is
now,
that
so
creepier
yeah,
though?
she's
If a
like
little
2 or
kid
3.
told you or a grown adult told you?
I feel like a grown adult
You know
told me
what?
that I'd be
But
like,
you
I feel like a kid
I've
telling me
been,
these kind
like
of.
watching
Yeah,
enough
kid would be
paranormal
weird.
stuff. Like they say a lot of times, a kid like they say like.
It latches on the kid.
Do you ever see the
Kids
animal
and
shit?
animals,
The animal
They
shit.
follow shit.
Do you ever see your
Kids
dog
when
do
they
that?
have, they think when they have imaginary friends and they're saying weird shit.
Yeah,
like,
that's-
his name's this, and you find out a kid like that name died in this house. Like it's
Then it's like,
fucking- yeah, it's like it's not imagine you actually fucking see something in this house. And
the thing I hate too is like seeing like you ever see your dog staring at the ceiling watching something, but
Yeah.
there's nothing there.
Oh, my dog does that all the
Oh,
time.
dude, it freaks the shit out of me. Like, dude, knock it the fuck
It's
off.
that thing in your house, man.
Is there really nothing there though? You could be looking at like a particle of dust. That
Dude.
you just can't
No,
see.
no. That's.
I don't know, dude.
That's why
There's a
I
fly
don't,
all the way up there.
I don't think about it that
bugging
much.
me.
I don't get that deep into thought.
I don't know,
Yeah.
dude. It freaks me out sometimes. I used to watch
There
my
was
dog
times
do
where,
it, and I was like,
actually, my
what are you
girlfriend
doing?
does it. It actually happened, I think, either last night or something like that. But he was sitting in my room, and he was just looking out the door, and she's like, "Why is he staring like that?" And I said, "Oh, well, when my mom's in the bathroom, maybe he's just like, watching her or something like that. But just let him be. He always,
Yeah.
even when he's outside, he just sits there in the grass sometimes.
I'm tired of listening to pub.
Yeah, like
Tired-
goddamn
tired of
PUBG.
hearing me fucking bullshitting on Xbox.
Yeah,
But you never know what the fuck. But they also say that I think I read something before there to say that like dogs do see that kind of shit.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah,
I heard
sometimes
that,
my
like,
mom's.
But how do you prove that?
Well, sometimes my
You
mom's
don't.
dog would be look at the middle of the room, like a big living room,
Yeah.
and just be looking at the middle of the room and start growling. And be like, "What are you doing, Rocco?"
Yeah.
And he growled at everything. So
My dog's
you
named
kind of
Rocco.
Yeah,
just,
you just kind of brush it off.
you dismiss it.
We're all out in the woods with,
whatever. But like sometimes he would look at like the middle of the room and start doing it. It was like, well, usually does that at the window or the door.
Yeah.
Now he's just fucking in the middle of the room. But I mean, I lived in that house for. When was 27 when I moved out? Hardcore loser. So I lived there for 23 years.
Thanks, man.
I made it 26.
I would be 28.
Right before my
fucking 3 weeks.
28th birthday, yeah.
27. I fucking.
Because we've been there a little over 2 years.
I moved out. Yeah, but I moved out.
But nothing in those 23 years that I lived in that house.
I'm
I've ever had anything.
Yeah, nothing.
I'm trying to move out. Damn it.
You did this to yourself.
That's not bad. That's a
And,
good,
that, and I
it's a
never
good record.
never had that
yeah, I
feeling.
got a
Like I had the little kid feeling of being scared. Like the little kid feeling of being scared of
The dark and stuff like
so
that.
it's not real, Like
Yeah, yeah.
there's somebody turned the lights off. I'm scared, and then you have the feeling of like at Todd's house of like
Straight.
what the fuck? Like someone just fucking touched me. Oh my god! Like totally like just I'm running. I'm running.
yeah.
Instant. Like fucking fight or flight. I'm running.
Yeah,
Flight,
it's a whole
flight,
different feeling.
Yeah. Out. So we keep going on with these stories, and I have a story. I want everybody else to tell their story because mine's pretty detailed. Yours was very detailed, and you went with the steps thing. And I have a steps thing too, just to describe where I was in the house, just like you did.
Yeah.
And when you were saying, "You motherfucker," I was looking at you like, "What the fuck?" He's like doing my like fucking thing, and then it's like it's whatever. Who cares? Like it's the way you have to tell the story because of the way it was. But I want everybody to get everything else out. We were still talking about Todd's house.
That was all mine right there, so that's where we ended at. I can go.
I mean, you
to-
guys are both contributing to that.
Yeah, well, that's
You
what I
guys have
mean.
both
Like
been
that was
to-
on my
But
only.
okay, so we were talking about your sleep paralysis.
Last
Oh.
week.
Yeah, we can pick
So,
up on a little
but
bit of that.
You thought all that was your house being haunted, though. Wasn't your little sister all fucked up?
Yeah, there was weird shit that happened. We was living in Emmaus, and like probably shouldn't say the town, but I guess it doesn't really matter.
It's
But
a good place.
it is. I like it.
It's weller than here.
Yeah, it is. But
I say everyone's last name, so it doesn't matter.
it was
Look, it's up.
it was kind of
Lehigh
weird too.
Valley.
It was kind of weird too because the house, like, have you ever seen the house?
What, the one on
all the way up on the hill, not the one you've been at on Cedar Crest.
No. What back you used to
Yeah.
live like right below the mountain.
Yeah, well,
Like, right below
right,
South Mountain.
right below where the John Deere is, like right below, going up that hill.
Yeah,
So
Fifth
it's-
Street.
Yeah.
Would you live in Steinmart?
I don't know what that means.
Steinmart.
Yeah, in the South Mall.
That's not a mash. We don't own that. We were talking your little sister, man. Like you.
I totally forgot because we started
So,
talking about.
but then last week when we were talking about your sleep paralysis, it kind of like it nullified all that. It said you know you were telling
Well,
like,
I can-
like my whole life I
sleep
thought like all
paralysis
this
is
shit was
fucked up.
haunted. And
Have
but
you
then,
ever done it? Have you ever?
I used to have sleep paralysis on a weekly basis.
So I've had it on a week, dude. It's not as bad now. When I was younger, the first time I remember having it, I was like 7, I think, and that's when I lived at Emmaus. That's the first time it ever happened to me, and like I told you last time, like I always thought it was like demons because we were super Christian and we were like, and did you hear voices?
Every now, not all the time. I mean, it happens so often that sometimes I did something.
Yeah.
But it was like almost like, oh god, there's something up here. I gotta look down here. I gotta look down here because this.
Yeah,
and
but
then
you can't move. You can't
No,
speak.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And you know how many people probably have that.
And they don't know what it is.
And they say it's a ghost.
No, and you know what?
And then they end up on some fucking ghost
They
show.
all and they yeah, but you know what? But they also said it too. They think that's what caused all the alien, like people who claim they were
The
abducted by
abductions.
aliens.
That's I was saying last time. Yeah,
They
Because
say that's
it,
what it
it
was.
fits the
actually.
bill.
Shit, that's
It
crazy.
kind of does.
Yeah.
It kinda
Because
does.
Yeah.
what happens to me every single time, I don't know how you happen, but like I can almost know when it's about to happen.
Yeah.
And then
I
do
can't
you-
explain
do you
why
Get,
is-
do
you
you
get-
get this weird noise like whoa, 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 and like
Yes,
and then
yes.
everything's weird.
But see, I
and
could
you're
know
just like,
because I have like
oh.
like I'm about to fall asleep. I have like racing thoughts, just crazy
Yep.
racing thoughts, like nonsense, and all of a sudden it's like, the fuck's going like?
And you can't move. You're kind of awake, but kind of because if you have it happen like right when you doze off is when it happens.
Yes, yes.
Or right when you're about
Yes.
to wake up, and the same thing happens to me. And then like I can like if something's on the TV, I can watch it, but I can't move.
No.
And then I've had before my covers being pulled down. And I can watch the covers being pulled down, but then I wake up, the covers are actually pulled down, but I don't know what happened. And so I'm
Yeah,
like,
you might
oh,
just-
it's fucking
yeah,
retarded.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I have like things like rapists coming in my bedroom.
Ghost rapists. So like
They
you
touching
know,
my pippa.
like you're half in, half out.
It's
It's-
are
it's-
asleep.
It's your sleep, but
Yeah,
your brain
you're
is like
sleeping,
still
yeah.
not in sleep mode. Your rest of your body is
It's sleeping, but that's what we were saying
brain
last
is-
time.
you
Here's
have-
me.
Your
Here's
brain,
stupid me.
is awake, but your body.
Yeah, it's a
isn't.
disconnect. So your
So
brain is.
did you look it up at all?
I have looked up because
No,
when-
Yeah.
I'm talking to
Oh,
him.
oh.
No,
So we
I-
talked about this last week.
My brother has experienced this.
But did you look it up at all?
No, I didn't. I
Yeah,
never
well, we
really-
should have fucking both looked it up because we haven't experienced
No,
it.
no,
We
but
would've-
no.
Well, I can
yeah,
tell you everything
there-
about it. I looked it up.
There has been times where I've felt like I've had I've dealt with sleep paralysis, but it wasn't so weird like you guys explained.
Yeah.
It was more. It wasn't like somebody was there watching me.
No,
Right.
but
It
I
was
was
more. It
but
was
I
more
can
so
say
just that I could
there's-
see things
There's
going on.
there's just an ominous feeling that
Yeah,
something's
it-
gonna happen.
It was just
See, and
weird.
I don't
It
know
was a
about
weird
you-
feeling like my body just couldn't move.
I had
and
it-
other things
it could be
happened.
different.
Like, we're going on.
Yeah, there could be different stages
Now,
too.
I-
Like I don't know. Like it's
I've had it so like pretty. I have it on a weekly basis. Even to this day, I still have it on a weekly
so do I.
basis. So I've pretty much figured because I had to look up. Wiggle your toes. As stupid as it sounds,
Yep.
that's how you get out of
Yep.
it because it's the only flange
Just-
on your body that can move and it'll actually.
and you can try to like move your hand a little bit, like
Yeah.
flex your
Yes.
like
We
your
should have had
joints.
this guy on last week.
So now is it just like normal now? Like
For me, it's kind of normal, but I do have to say, there are times like when I'm in it, if I don't wiggle my toes and it starts getting, you start seeing shit.
Yep.
Every time I've woken up, and I'll like wake up pitch dark, I'll look in the corner of my room. It'll look like something's standing there.
Yeah.
And even though I know in my mind that it's definitely sleep paralysis. This is what I'm just seeing shit right now. I still have to turn the lights on because no, it just looks so fucking real. It's fucking scary.
See,
Because I will turn on light every time or just keep my head down. Like I know it's not real, so I'm not gonna.
Like you said earlier.
But sometimes I'm like, I gotta just make sure.
I was telling the one like last
it's-
week when
it's
we did
fucked
this.
up,
I was
man.
telling
No,
one.
I-
I had one like last week, and I fell asleep on the couch. And I'm just like repeating because I know this is already recorded before. But I was sleeping on the couch, and my head was right here, looking into that bedroom right there. And because I doze off at like 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'm so tired. So I'm watching something. I think I was watching Bob's Burgers, but anyway,
Like you always say you
I
are.
know.
That's a good show there.
Hell
Chris.
yeah. Well, Amanda's in the bathroom taking a shower, and then I can tell I'm dreaming because I was over here doing something,
Yeah.
and then something weird happened, and I was like, fuck, I know what's about to happen. Then all of a sudden, I'm on the couch, I can watch the TV, I can hear Amanda moving around, and all I hear is blah, 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 and it's that noise, and then everything's going retarded, and I look up, and there's a guy right next to the door just like looking down at me with a fucking evil face just staring me at, and I'm like trying to scream, can't move, I'm
can't.
like, fuck,
You can't.
Then I wake up, and Amanda's in the bath. I didn't even know Amanda was in the bathroom, so I already fell asleep. That's where she was. I could hear her opening the door, closing the door. It's just fucking, it's super weird.
That's got to be the true explanation behind abductions and ghost stories. Like when people tell you that crazy ass story of the dark figure in the room, like, or like,
But I'll tell you,
to an extent, because I still believe in shit with alien shit and people being
yeah. But the whoa, like,
yeah.
Oh, the spaceship came down.
That's not what they're saying. It is.
Yeah, but-
no, when I say
the
that,
way
you
you-
you have to understand what I'm saying. Like it's hard to like if you haven't.
it's not a lot. It's not very.
It's like a
for me,
vibration,
yeah,
kind of. It's like a weird vibration, and like it's everything's distorted in a way where
it's not. It's not like as real as sitting here. It's very distorted, at least from me.
saying
It's
pig
not,
squeals.
but it's like you still have like concept of what's going on, but it's very distorted.
Yeah,
it's
crazy,
got death
man.
clock.
But like I said, every time I've seen a door figure, it's
faceless.
been waking up from there. I fucking have to turn on light just to double check to make sure that's not someone standing in the corner. Because even though it happens weekly basis, I still have to.
It still freaks you out. Now, Steve,
because it looks so fucking.
Now, is there a
real.
specific day that this happens or randomly?
It's
just randomly.
But I look at it's.
No, I'm saying because he says if it happens on a weekly basis.
but it could.
No,
see,
I know, but like,
I've
you
already
never know.
happened back-to-back nights.
Oh,
I've already had it happen.
And wake up,
wiggle
go
my
back to-
toes, fall back asleep,
It
and it
happened
happen
again.
right
Yep,
again.
I had the same
really?
thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've had that happen.
It happens again. It just
Yes.
reoccurs again.
Yes.
Okay.
The weird thing is when you were actually. How did you find out that's what it was? Did you actually do research on it then? Like, what the hell? What?
you go to
I can't be the
doctors
only one that this is happening to. How did you find out it was sleep paralysis? Because I found it by looking up, and I didn't do it until I was about like 18 or 19.
No, and I've had it probably happen to me. I think the first time it probably happened to me, I was probably maybe 15, 16, maybe around that age. It scared the fuck out of me.
Fuck yeah,
It
dude.
fucking scares the shit out of me. So, and then all of a sudden, I kind of kept it to myself because I'm like, I'm just fucked in the head. Yeah. I'm just like, what the fuck? And then
Obviously, you're not gonna go.
I gotta lay off the cocaine, boys.
Well, you don't. And the problem is,
No, around
and problem it was that is they said too, this can be an offset of drug use, which
Of
16, 17, you're fucking.
Yeah, you're doing that, but that's not
Doing-
necessarily the case though. Because
No,
I've had
but you're
situations-
thinking
but
I
it could
can't
be
tell
happening-
anyone because then all of a sudden people think
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
doing drugs. So for me it was like, and then once I got older, people talk about sleep paralysis, and then I looked, I'm like, I think this is what's been
exactly-
happening
yeah.
for freaking at this point.
And it's
fucking
weird.
8 years or
This has
whatever.
been happening. Like they have records of this from the Middle Ages. And you've ever seen the picture? Hold on, I'll pull it up.
Can I
Whack it.
let me whack that thing?
You ever just whack it at a table with 3 other men? You're about
Man,
to.
everyone's whacking it over here.
You should all be whacking it.
I'll look for the. I wonder if I can find the picture. I hope I can.
That's weird. The dark
And actually,
figure.
I don't
This.
think I ever.
This is a great example.
Yes.
Oh, I thought he was teabagging
Yes,
for a second.
because I mean, now
no,
granted,
for real.
granted,
I thought his head was
now
down there.
granted,
And I was like,
I
why
don't see
teabagging?
a full form like this. Like, see,
I don't either, but you get that
it's-
ominous feeling that
But that
something's
face,
there.
though, man, it's.
Yeah,
See,
let me-
this is the same shit that Troy not too long ago started talking about. Troy has these same problems as
And you know, it's uppers. It's
This is the
upper-
picture.
it's abuse of uppers.
you have a
Yes.
weight on your chest and you don't know what it is, and I always get this
Now,
weight
now,
here.
and I
That's
can
what Troy
say
said.
I don't necessarily because I remember I think we've talked about this a couple
I
times
don't remember. I could, like maybe we have.
I've never really had the weight on my chest.
I have the weight on my
never really had
chest.
the
That's
weight.
what Troy said the one time. He said there was
Yeah.
a weight on his chest. He said he feel like he couldn't move, and then like he
You
finally.
know how many people say that though? This is what I'm talking about. Did you ever watch this show?
No, but dude, this
I
is
don't
a
think
real
I've ever
thing
had-
besides
Yeah,
fucking.
did you ever
like,
see
know-
this show though? There's this channel, and it's this shitty channel. It's a really shitty channel. and it's-
Sci-Fi Channel.
No, it's even shittier. It's
History
actually,
Channel?
It's actually no, it's even shittier than that.
National Geo.
It's owned. It's actually owned by Discovery. It's owned by Discovery.
Oh, is it Pond Hunters? 'Cause
H2.
I own that shit.
It's called Destination America is the channel, and they do like there's all like Bigfoot shows.
Oh,
ghost
my dad
shows.
believes in fucking.
So the one ghost show,
would.
and
he
Emily,
fucking would.
well, Emily and I
Gotta see it,
got
see
hooked on the
Bigfoot.
one ghost show.
Yeah.
We got hooked on it, and it's called A Haunting. Now,
Oh, I used to watch that.
and we used to watch it all the fucking time. Now everybody's it's hilarious because like it's all these like some of the shows, like episodes, are really good.
And some of them are just really bad.
But every once in a while they get some like poor white trash family. There's never any black people on the show.
No.
Like there's like one or two episodes
Destination
of black
America.
people, and it's just like there's always this like poor white trash family down in the South, and like
Yeah.
Confederate soldiers. They were haunting my home, and no, but like a lot of people describe on that show, they're like, I woke up and there was a weight on my chest, and there was a dark figure in the corner of the room.
Yeah, I mean,
And it was like, when you fucking said that shit last week, because I never even, like, I heard of sleep paralysis, I never looked into it. And when you were telling us what you were telling us last week, I was like, holy shit. And that clicked in my head. It was like, all these people have these stories.
when I was
They
born,
do,
it
and
got soaked with
but
the
it's
wind,
weird
so
too because there's an actual.
it reeked in
I
my
recommend.
pockets,
Do you
my
have
head,
Netflix?
fuck off.
Yeah.
Watch. What's that sleep paralysis movie on Netflix?
Nightmare Inc.
Yeah.
I might have to look it up.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, watch it, and that's a really good thing because
Is it like a? Is it not a documentary?
do
it's
wanna watch it.
documentary.
Is it? I have to
about
watch
people
it.
that have sleep paralysis.
Let's get on that show.
And all the people that actually have this, like, they don't know what it is, and that could be account for a large percentage of all those things. Because everything about it, if you have experienced it, dude, you immediately think it's something supernatural,
Yeah.
evil, aliens.
Yeah, because that's weird as shit, dude.
Yeah, because you're.
Because like I said last week on the last cast, it was fucking. I've had nightmares where I woke up screaming,
Yeah, like a night
but
terror.
I wake up.
Yeah, and you
I'm
know,
not
you know
stuck
you're
a
in
room.
reality. Yeah.
And I'm in a different place of when I was in the dream.
Yeah.
When I've seen a dark figure in a dream, and then woke up in a different place. I never woke up and heard like whoa, and like been in my room and like nothing like that. Like
I mean, it's
like
just
I've
like
woke
clicking almost like a.
It's every person's different too. Like you can have that, and like it's just
fucking
off.
weird,
You know
dude.
something's off.
Yeah.
So, but okay. So what
I've
I was
definitely experienced
what I was originally
things
getting
at
at,
least
like talking to you and bringing all this up again, like unearthing that shit, was so like some of those you used to tell me that you see these things in your room when you were a kid, and you used to tell, when we used to stay at your house, you'd be like, oh, this house is haunted as fuck. And like nothing ever happened when I stayed there. It was a creepy house. It was a creepy old house.
It
but
might be
Was it
certain
your
people.
paralysis or what?
Wait, what?
So you think it was your paralysis?
No, because the first time I
'cause you
experienced
used
sleep
to say your
paralysis.
sister used to get all
Yeah,
fucked.
that's where we'll go back to that from like
yeah.
when we lived on that road, like the hill, or whatever the hell you call it. I don't remember the name of Fifth Street.
What was the road there?
It was, huh?
What was the road that you lived on?
Fifth Street.
Front Street.
Okay.
It was like if
It
you go to the
wasn't
back.
Cedar Crest one, because I remember your
No,
brother
not the
told me
Cedar
about
Crest one. It was
I
on
remember your
Fifth
brother
Street.
telling me about how
I
you
don't
guys used
remember
to
the
throw-
Fifth Street house. I
You guys
remember-
used to
we were really
throw
young.
shit at cars, apparently.
Yeah, Matt did that. But
we used
that,
to
dude,
we used to do some bad shit.
that house was super fucking hot. In the middle of the night, our entire family would be waking up, and you would hear people screaming, like just screaming and yelling, and you would see like nothing out there, but you would hear screaming and yelling. And this is like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. We have no neighbors. There's no fucking neighbors, and you would hear people screaming out there, and you'd be like, "What the hell's going on?" Oh, okay. Wait, what happened?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. But you would hear people screaming at like 3 in the morning, and we're like, okay, that's fucking weird. And the other thing that would happen is my sister used to see weird shit. She used to see like, I almost want to describe it as like a Mothman or something, dude. It was like she would see weird shit on the ceiling, and then my mom said she's also seen something where it was like almost like a witch-like creature on the ceiling,
But you know what? And I almost like when I have the sleep paralysis because
Yeah.
I'm laying.
because you're looking dead up.
I almost associate with the being on the almost being on the ceiling.
Yeah, and it could-
I'm
it-
not
it
trying
could
to
be
speak
something
for
like
that,
that.
but I'm just
But I had shit like that where it was stuff like that happening even when I was younger. I just chalked this up being younger maybe. But I used to see like
Six aside.
little black
grab that
figures
one.
on the ground moving around. And me and Matt slept in bunk beds. Matt never seen shit ever. He'd be in the bottom bunk, I'd be at the top. And I'd be awake all night, dude. I couldn't sleep ever. Like I was just terrified of everything, which probably fed into fears.
Well, they
on
say a
top
lot
of
of
it.
sleep paralysis is just your brain activity is so fucking
It's
crazy.
heightened, yeah.
It's lack of sleep. It's not getting enough sleep. It's
It can be anything that triggers it. The weird thing about sleep paralysis, though, is like as much research I've done on it, dude, that might have some connections to other things, though. It couldn't just like, I don't know, like the shit I was reading about, and it was like, dude, that kind of makes sense, but like,
You don't need to pour it, too.
I don't know, dude. It just gets really fucking weird. What are you doing, Steve?
I thought we were fucking not putting shit on the table.
Yeah, we're saying fuck it now. We
Yeah.
got hams.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
you got hams on the
We
table.
might get sponsors.
His hams are on the table.
That's what he wanted the whole time.
Hams is gonna hit us up.
So either we're gonna get sued or we're gonna get sponsored, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna get taken down or we're gonna get sponsored.
It's either,
Honestly, I don't care what happens
It's one
because
of
I'm
the
having a
yeses.
good fucking time. You know? Well, I do care if I get sued,
but
but
that,
like,
dude, that's
People do things just for money.
well, dude, if fucking Miller Coors wants to sue us, it'd be like,
have
really,
sex.
really, what kind of money? What kind of money are you gonna get out of a bunch of fucking bums? Like,
None. That's what I was telling you before, though.
cease and
Like,
desist order is what we get.
yeah, like
all
take
right,
that video down. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll just make another one.
Sorry, guys. Like no one in the world drinks your beer. Anyway,
Sadly, too many people do.
yeah. So you don't think that? Do you think that she was having the same thing, or do you think she?
No, I don't think so. I think I can chalk it up a lot like being a kid and growing up in a crazy Christian family
Here's a
where
here's a real
those
question.
feed into your emotions of wanting to see something, and then you do see something.
Here's a real question though.
So I don't
Do you
think,
think it was something paranormal, or do you think it was paralysis for people, for you guys?
some of the stuff I've seen, like this thing I was thinking about Todd's house, I was wide awake.
No, I'm
So-
saying for the
you
house
could-
that you were
yeah,
just
I mean,
talking.
Yeah, I don't think so because usually if you have sleep paralysis once when you're younger, you'll have it again. They say like a large part of the population, and I mentioned this last time, like you at least have it once or twice in your life. Yeah. But usually when it happens like later when you're more like a teenager or adult. And if you have it when you're a kid, that usually will be there most of your life from what I've read. Like it'll never, like I've had years where it went away and then it comes back out of nowhere for a couple months, and now it's been on the rise again lately for me. Yeah. So I don't think it was that, but I think most of it for my mom and for my sister was because we were just, dude, every day you go to church, the devil's getting you. Like,
But do you really think that though?
yeah, I do.
Fuck
I do.
yeah.
I do.
And you
Fuck
didn't have any
Dude,
more
I
of
used to be terrified because we went to this play that was called Heaven's Gates and Hell's Flames, and it showed people getting ripped away, taking people like kids to hell and shit. Dude, it traumatized me as a fucking kid, bro. Like,
So, but here's the
it
thing, dude.
traumatized me.
Okay, so here's the thing. When I was younger, okay, so my parents always were they went to church. I can't say they were strongly with it. You know,
Was it
they-
Catholic?
See, okay,
I don't know. My mom,
you already solved.
No, Christian.
You
I
already
went to
answered your
Christian.
question. You already answered your
Tons
question.
of branches of Christian.
You just said it. You already answered your question.
Catholics
What do
are
you mean?
for.
Oh,
Evangelical.
Yeah, evangelical. You're not strong.
You weren't
into the religion.
evangelical.
Dude, we used to go to church
These
and have.
people are fucking.
We used to go to-
nuts.
I know, dude. I know. Trust me. I mean, to
They're
think
nuts.
that even
Dude,
fucking
when we were at
all that
church-
shit is fucking real is nuts.
The praise
But I'm
sermons
just
would be
saying-
3 hours long, and by the end of it, there's people flopping on the ground, screaming, and fucking like, just like, "Ah!" like, dude, fucking, dude.
What the?
Yeah, you never
fuck
saw
kind of
that?
Fucking thing. No, I never
I
seen
just
it.
want to say.
that is
I
the
want to
most
say for a
I
record.
thought it was fucking Catholics were bad. That's
Can I say
fucked
for a
up.
record?
This is the most common.
Anybody that does that and is listening to this, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, but no, think about it as a child seeing that shit.
I don't care.
I don't fucking know,
That is
dude.
one thing.
When you're a child, you
yeah,
just
hell
believe
no.
what fucking adults
Yes,
tell you.
exactly.
That's pretty much what you
but
do.
here's
Okay.
But here's the thing. My parents were both my parents. They both went to church and all that stuff. I can't say they were super strict with it, like a really religious.
Bro, I couldn't go trick or treating.
You
Yeah.
asshole. But I'm just saying. They would always say things like if you did certain things you would go to hell, or even actually what, so my parents were both religious at one point, more religious than they are now. Their families were more religious than they were. Their parents and everything, like my mom's mom, my grandma on my mom's side was way more religious than anybody else that I've known. And that's not like she was, I don't know her that well to the point where she was like super fucking religious. I don't really know like the background with that.
Yeah.
But I've heard her say things, like you can
Swear you won't
go
be
to
the
hell,
Jesus
this and
comes
that.
back.
Yeah. You go to hell for that. And as a kid, I was thinking, what's hell? You live in fire, whatever, and it was nothing to me. I don't fucking care about
That's
that,
how I grew up too.
Yeah, it was nothing. I was
Okay,
thinking, what's hell?
let's put this
as
in
a kid,
context
and
here,
slowly
then.
learning, getting older, I'm just like,
We're getting there.
fucking hell,
Yeah.
heaven. You don't fucking, you don't know what the fuck it is.
But okay, so like obviously then you're not
Religious?
Let's say that
I'm
even
fucking
funnier.
atheist, dude. I don't
You're
give a
not,
fuck
You're not
about
as Mexican as other Mexicans.
Yeah, because I don't
Because
care about
there's
Catholics.
a lot of Mexicans
Yeah, they-
believe in
Catholic
in this-
Mexicans.
Yeah, and they name their kids Jesus.
They
Jesus.
not even, they go crazier
Sure,
than that,
that
man. They
motherfucker.
believe in some serious fucking mystic shit.
Jose.
No, they are.
They believe in brujas and brujos, and they have like ceremonies where they
they
crack eggs over candles, and they fucking like say some words,
they
and
do a lot of
they
weird
bless.
Crack eggs
Like
over candles.
They do shit. Like
Yeah, I'm
that.
only quarter Mexican. I mean, I only got the last
Well,
name.
no, I don't
But
know.
I'm just saying, like,
I don't fucking know. You're just asking you because, like, no, like some people, like some Latino cultures are like,
oh yeah, they
like
get
they
about
have
it. A
you,
lot of
like,
about it. Are
you have
really
church, and then you go to the bruja, and the bruja is a witch, or the brujo is a man, bruja is a woman, and they bless your child when you're pregnant.
Yeah.
They come to your house, they burn sage, they smudge your house, they fucking
I feel like their shit.
you know,
I
like
feel
they
like
do
their
shit
shit.
like
yeah.
that.
I feel like their shit is like more like mixed with like Native American bullshit. It's like a more
It's-
spiritual.
Well, obviously,
yeah,
they're
but
fucking-
it's the sex.
It's their
It's the
culture
sex.
before that they added
Yeah.
in because the same thing
the-
like
I mean, look at that Minkas,
like the-
Mayans, and fucking
the Halloween-
Minkas.
I mean,
Minkas.
Incas. I put both of them. I put
Minkas.
Mayans and Minkas together. Incas together.
Is it the women from the 30s that used to wear the minks? They're called Minkas.
Think about it. You
I like
think
a
about,
nice Minka
that,
coat.
that was the origination.
So,
that was original
okay.
fucking.
So what
shit.
he grew up in, what he was telling me earlier before we started this was the evangelicals,
Yeah.
and the Baptists too are also kind of like this. They're kind of like
Southern Baptist,
they're close to the same thing.
snake handlers.
So they
Crazy.
yeah, they get
Jesus is
they
protecting
do
me.
they do this like really theatrical sermon,
Yeah.
and like someone always has to flop to the ground or
Yeah,
shake.
it's
or
called the
have a
Holy Ghost is taking over
seizure,
your
yeah,
body.
and it's the Holy Spirit.
Yeah,
And
Holy
it's-
Spirit. I'm sorry.
It's
I'm
just
surprised they
someone.
don't,
It's
like,
just
shit on
someone.
each other.
Everybody gets to steal the show every Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, like someone gets to steal the show, and it's
Sunday sermon. Who's going down today?
Who's going to speak in tongues today? And like, if you watch, like you know the guys who do Rick and Morty,
Yeah.
like Justin Roiland is the voice of Rick.
Mm-hmm.
He was on a podcast, and he called Joel Osteen's church, and
Why does that name sound familiar?
He's a
he's
really
the guy.
mega
he's-
church.
He's the mega church guy that talks like this, and
He's always really nice.
When
But he
you
doesn't-
come down from here.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a really shitty
white
guy.
guy, the white
actually.
guy.
Are
Like
there
that.
evangelicals?
He's
Are
always
They're
on, like,
evangelicals,
he's
yes.
on,
Any mega church is an evangelical.
on our channels, it's about like channel 50 or some shit
Yeah.
like that.
That's
So-
not the.
he calls. He calls. Okay. He calls.
Probably.
He's got
Seven
he's,
Club
he's the
or
one right
is that
that when during the whole hurricane.
Yeah, he
fucking
wouldn't let
bullshit,
people in the
he wouldn't
church.
let people in
Yeah.
the
Old?
church.
Is that-
Yeah. No, he's not old. He's
No, he's younger.
I'm thinking of someone
He's
else.
Maybe
totally.
30s.
Yeah, he's a
30s,
big
40s.
he's a big giant turd.
Yeah, he's a
Anyway,
fucking piece of shit.
So anyway, they call
Giant
his,
douche.
Keep talking, yeah.
they call.
bring up his fucking.
They call.
Just so I can fucking pee
Let's
on
not
him.
do that. Maybe
No, put him up.
because that guy would bring us
Yeah,
down.
you know. No, fuck
Don't
him.
touch us. Not touch
Fuck
him.
him. We have our own beliefs.
But anyway.
This
It
is
means-
what he
it
gets.
means fuck Joel
This is
Osteen.
what that religion gives him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's
Jesus
not bring
Christ!
people
I
into
never
that.
saw that.
Let's not bring people into that.
Anyway.
No, that's his house, not the church.
Either way.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Either
Look
way.
at that.
He's got plenty enough to fucking give to
Bigger,
other
that's
people.
bigger than my block. Anyway.
Exactly.
Um.
Is that a fucking bridge?
Soak it in, baby.
Hey,
Is
He's
that
got a
bridge?
bridge over the moat
Yeah.
over next to his pool.
You know what though? He's got solar panels, so.
Oh yeah.
He really doesn't follow
Clean
the
energy.
He,
Green.
he
Clean
really doesn't,
energy.
He
We're
really
making
doesn't
a
follow
difference.
the scriptures of the Bible.
Come on.
Because the
what's
Bible
bas-
doesn't say
What's the
anything about that.
basketball court? To
Anyway,
lure in,
okay.
lure in his,
Let's get back to
his
this
children?
point here.
Yes. He's not a Catholic priest, dude.
No, he's not Catholic.
No, he's not learning
And
children.
people knock on the Catholics, but I would.
That doesn't mean
I'd
he's not
much.
capable.
Yeah,
I
but
would
you don't-
much. I'd prefer the Catholics.
Well, that's
over
what
these
here after this,
fucking
because
people.
I was brought up a Catholic. You guys are fucking crazy.
Yeah,
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, that's fucked up.
I was brought up
We're
Protestant,
crazy.
and that like
Fuck the fucking whatever you guys were just talking
You
about.
motherfuckers got rapists.
I know I was never touched.
yeah,
I was never touched.
You got rapists.
cold. Anyway,
No, but,
Hey,
but let me.
Maybe they just needed some loving.
Let me bring it up on the Catholic part real quick. Did you watch the Netflix thing on? It's called the.
no, I'm not watching that.
No, watch it. It's actually really fucking good.
What
It's
is
about-
it?
No, dude, I
it's-
can't watch that.
no,
I know what you're talking
listen,
about.
Oh wait, it's called wait, what is it
It's
called?
with the chick that got.
Yeah, the nun lady or
Yeah.
some shit like. Yeah, I didn't watch it, but it's
It's pretty good.
Anyway,
yeah.
It's pretty fucking good.
So-
I hate religion, and I fucking will never support it. But that shit is really
all
fucking
right.
good.
So,
It doesn't
check
really
that
have
out.
to. It doesn't really have to do with the religion so much.
Okay.
But Colin, go.
Shout out to Rick and Morty. Justin Roiland was on a podcast. I forget which one it was.
Bring up his face.
I
want to
watched.
see his face.
Whose face?
He looks like
Let's
Rick.
get him on.
I'm just kidding.
He looks like Rick. He's just younger. But he calls Joel Osteen's church with Rick's voice on, and the lady answers the phone because obviously they have a call center, you know. And he tells him he wants to donate $7,000. I think it was like $7,000. He says, "I want to donate this money. Yeah, who am I speaking to? Can I talk to Joel? You know?" And like Rick's voice. I can't do Rick's voice, and no, I'm pretty sure he can only do Rick's voice. Great show. Awesome job, guys. Good job.
Yeah, it's a great show.
But the lady,
If you could do Brandon
he's like
DiCamillo,
fucking with her, but he actually was gonna. I looked like he actually was gonna donate the money because they're fucking filthy rich now.
Yeah.
Rick and Morty blew the
Plenty of
fuck up.
Fuck yeah, man.
You can't go to
Big
any.
time.
You can't go into any store anymore that sells
Without
like
seeing
nerdy
shit.
shit. Like
Yeah.
you see Rick and Morty shit, like just like you see like Star Wars shit, Pokemon shit. You know, like Rick and Morty's there now.
Get with the times, bro.
Yeah, yeah, really, like, you know, and
That's what it is.
That's actually what got me to watch the show, and I was like, "Oh, this isn't just some overblown nonsense. This is a great
fucking
show,
excellent show."
Yeah. And I'm watching this, and they didn't know what to do because like they thought they were making some really funny prank phone call, and this lady just like fucking flips 180 on them and starts speaking in tongues,
Yeah.
and they're all going,
Even Jibble.
yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
yeah, and he's sitting there going, like you could see it on his face, like he's like, well, what do I do now? And he doesn't break character, which is like good for you, dude. Like, like you just Will Ferrelled it. Like, good for you. And he did it, and he kept going. But then when they finally got her off the line, and I think he actually, I don't remember, but like I think he didn't donate, but like he got close to donating. Yeah. But the lady didn't know how to like, which was weird. This is the weirdest thing to me is they do this like speaking in tongues shit, and they do all this like theatrical bullshit.
Yeah.
But like she also wasn't ever mean to him, and he was like the one being the dick.
The dick, yeah.
Well, yeah.
But he was
Well, I mean,
being a
that's-
dick
that's like
in
his
it.
job.
But he was doing it in a
It's
joking
doing
way.
character.
And he actually, I looked like he actually was gonna like donate the money, but like I don't think he ever ended up donating the money because the lady like just kind of like dismissed him in her own like weird way. But like her weird way was to like speak in the tongues of like the Spirit of Christ filling me and.
Dude, but the weird thing is,
But those people, so
my grandmother and mom didn't know to do that.
and
That's
you grew
weird.
up in that
What?
shit.
Speaking tongues.
So you grew
I've
up
heard
in
him do
that
it.
shit,
Dude.
So like if you like imagine,
don't understand
so imagine growing up in that environment. Okay, you grow up. In
Oh,
that,
you're terrified of everything.
Yeah. So like anything.
Every corner's a demon waiting for you, bro.
You could grow up with someone in your house that like you're watching something on TV that they don't want you to watch. Like your mom doesn't want you to watch. Your dad doesn't want you to watch.
It's the devil.
Ben Franklin.
So
is
what
the
are they
devil.
gonna do? What are they gonna do? Well, I don't want you to watch South Park.
Devil.
So I'm gonna roll on the floor now and speak in tongues because you just let the devil into my house.
Well, they wouldn't go that far, but they would be like, everything's the devil. Everything's the devil. Everything. Halloween is the devil's night.
that's
So we
never
went to
happened.
church.
My parents said
But I
Bobby
bet,
Boucher's
I
mom.
bet you anymore.
Huh?
Like Bobby Boucher's mom.
Yes.
Yes.
Shit.
Yes.
That's real.
Nailed it.
Really?
You fucking nailed it.
Excuse
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah.
Days Bobby
Yeah. Ben Franklin's the fucking devil
Yeah.
because he
But that,
didn't invent electricity.
that's real. Do you think Adam Sandler just fucking made that?
No.
up?
I
Yeah,
actually did it till
No,
tonight.
no.
I did.
Well,
he
okay,
definitely- yeah,
okay, he definitely.
You gotta realize
he
they don't
definitely
make that
did.
shit up
He
for
definitely did. He definitely made that up.
But there's got to be a reference.
But he made it up because he
Because,
saw
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Because
well,
he
yeah, yeah,
saw
yeah.
it.
He just
I
made it a
agree
little
with
more
Yeah.
ridiculous than it possibly
Yeah.
could be. I mean, I'm not
exactly
saying
for
it's
the
not,
comedy
but
of it.
But then those are the people. Now we're getting back to let's go back to the supernatural thing, and we'll segue. into-
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah,
those,
that's right.
Those are the
Where were we?
Those are the people that end up on these fucking ghost shows,
Yeah.
and then they all have a fucking story.
Yep.
They all have
Some
a
made up
fucking story,
bullshit.
and it's all demons. Demons were in my home, and I grabbed my Bible and I held it up real high, and they went away.
Got an exorcist. Fucking,
exercised him.
Yeah.
Put him
oh Lord, help
I
me!
still live in my home to this day. The demons could not drive me out, not with the power of Christ by my
Put
side.
water in a squirt gun and shot it around.
Yeah,
Fuck. Like, come on, get the fuck out of here, dude.
No, there's those people that fucking definitely exercise
No,
the whole thing.
and here's the thing
to
with
a point where it's fucking complete.
well, here's the thing with
bullshit.
me, like, is like I believe in I'm pretty I love the phrase practicing atheist. Okay, agnostic.
Head first.
Agnostic's probably a better word. Okay.
Agnostic atheist.
But like there is good and evil, right?
I believe that. I believe it just being a morally good
It's
person.
religious, like the crazy, whatever faction they are. They
A faction? What the?
yeah, well, it's a faction, isn't it?
It's not really a faction.
Communist party.
Bible thumping. The Bible thumping faction.
Yeah.
They all like point at like certain things and other groups, and he came from here, so we have to get the demon out of him, and then like, he wasn't evangelical before,
And now he's saved and born
so
again.
we gotta let him speak in tongues, get the demon out of him. And they'll believe in these like ghosts, but it's like they're not ghosts, man. This is like you're just making this shit up, and you're playing this thought in this person's head, and then they want to go like roll on the floor and go la la la. And like
Always think every time.
Mucking like a high.
and you can watch it, dude. Like there's plenty of videos you can watch it, and so it makes people believe in ghosts. Anyway, so I'm working at this coffee shop as a second job while I was working at Blockbuster Video.
Oh my god.
What was that? 2002?
1999.
No, I worked at Blockbuster as it was dying, and
Went up for
So you
48
got-
hours.
that's how long ago this
So you got
was.
severance, right?
That's a fucking blast. Well,
Pension pay.
you know what? We should have a whole podcast about Blockbuster Video, and we should just tell stories about going to Blockbuster when we were kids. So let's don't everybody interject with those. So I used to hang out at this coffee shop, and you had been there. I don't know
King
about
Coffee?
you. Definitely not you. Well, maybe you did. I don't know, but I didn't know you.
King Coffee and a mass.
So we used to my old band Lucky Number 2, we used to play shows there, and the owner was like all about letting us play shows there, and he didn't pay us to play, and we were cool with that.
It's fun.
And he didn't also charge a cover, except you had to buy a drink. And he had like 5 or 6 items on the menu that were $1. No tax. $1.
So you just paid $1.
Yeah.
Good.
And it was like you can come to the show and you can watch these two
Who doesn't
bands
have a dollar?
plans these two bands, so it would be like Lucky Number 2 and Fire Set Bird.
I remember always seeing Fire Set
And he
Bird.
hooked us up all the time. So we started playing all this music at his coffee shop for a couple years, and he said, I'm going to buy some recording equipment. And I'm going to buy a space for you guys to record because I think you guys are talented kids, and I want you guys to record. And he was a little weird. Like, well, he was really fucking weird.
Like rapey weird or
No.
Pedo weird.
No, he was real,
Sorry, I'm watching
I have
a lot
no,
of SVU,
he was
but-
real I have no friends weird.
It's clingy.
Yeah, and he was an older guy, but he would like try to make friends with like, 18-year-old kids.
That's all right. I mean,
Pedo.
what's wrong with that?
How
old
pedo,
are
that's
No,
pedo like.
no, he really never did anything.
No, I'm not saying, but that's nowadays that's what's looked at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
How old was he?
40.
Before? I mean,
Oh,
that's fine.
okay, no,
yeah, that's fine.
He wasn't old, but he
Oh,
was.
yeah.
That's not that
That's
bad.
not- I don't
I've
consider
seen
that.
people that have been a lot
But he was
worse than
he
that.
was just really socially. He was fucked in the head, like socially. Anyway, but he let us play.
Asperger's.
He let us play, and he loved it. He loved it. He loved the fact that we were bringing him business. And we loved it too. We used to play every 2 months. We had shows, and I would tell everyone.
Those were fun nights.
We used to post flyers all over town. This was before, like, this was like pre-MySpace.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
this
have
is
to
like
play something, you have a little
2002,
gig going on.
2001.
So like
yeah.
my
You couldn't
yeah.
fucking advertise off.
So by the time I'm like 18, 19, MySpace is out, and Facebook was out, but it wasn't what it is now.
Yeah, it didn't.
Yeah.
And
was
like
all
you
about
didn't have a
MySpace.
Facebook yet. No one had a Facebook yet.
That's the difference
Unless
between
you were in
MySpace
a
and
college.
Facebook.
Yeah,
MySpace,
Facebook started as a strictly college kids.
Yeah, and the thing with MySpace and Facebook at the time, MySpace, you used to have a music MySpace where you could put your own tracks.
Yeah.
And we had one of those.
Yeah.
So anyway, has nothing to do with social media. He rents.
We're just saying.
He well, we had this band, and he was in this other band, Fire Set Birth, which was the Nunn Brothers. It was
Yep,
Jacob
yep.
and Grant and John Gerondo,
Yeah.
and they were fucking great death metal band.
Yeah, that
right?
was really good. I
And he
enjoyed
wanted
that.
us both to record in his space, so he dumped all this money into this giant fucking mansion in Browningsville that was just condemned. And it was condemned for a fucking reason, because there was black mold everywhere. But there were 3 or 4 rooms that were unscathed in this really old Victorian mansion, and it had like the turret roofs. And
Wait, are you saying he bought the house?
no, he rented it.
Yeah, he rented it.
Oh, he just
And
rented.
he rented it for like nothing. It was like $400 a month
Yeah.
for this massive fucking 4-story building. And like, if you would buy a house like that today, it would easily be $400,000.
That's so fucking weird.
Like a big house, you know. And it's next to the hometown diner.
I know where the hometown.
Like when you're
diner
driving
is.
back on 222.
Yeah, yeah.
I've showed it to people, and so here's my story, and this is why I believe ghosts are real, because I saw what I fucking saw. You know?
Keep going.
So we used to party there, right? So the Nunn brothers were out of their fucking minds,
Yeah.
crazy. They were so crazy that their parents had them homeschooled because they kept getting suspended for.
I was in all the fucking Jake's class.
Yeah, they
He's
were
a
nuts.
fucking
Jacob
nut job,
Jacob
man.
was the worst one out of the three.
No, he's fucking
Well,
bad.
Charles was, because Charles. Well,
I hear that a lot.
anyway, but they were nuts, and so he gave us the keys, and he gave Fireset Birth the keys. It's like, you gave those guys fucking keys to this place while you're not there.
They're gonna
So
fuck shit up.
immediately I'm getting like text messages like, come to the fucking party, dude. We got like 4 cases of 40s. We got a keg. We got spray paint.
Yeah,
And I like
fuck
show up
up.
to this party the one night, and we're all like getting high as fuck, like drinking out of our faces. I'm like 18, 19 years old, and we're throwing literally like 5, like the pails. How big is a pail of paint? A gallon?
Yeah, I think it's a. or
We're like
half
throwing
gallon.
them on
It's
the
gallon, yeah.
walls, you know, spray painting shit, fucking throwing shit into the walls, breaking holes. Colin, can you punch a hole in the wall? Fuck yeah, okay, boom. You know, shit like throwing like, oh, you got a pocket knife? Let's chuck it at the wall. You know, just being retarded, like fucking out of your mind, high and drunk.
Yeah.
Let's break this house. It's not ours.
Yeah, that sounds about
Okay.
right.
So
That shit hasn't changed.
yeah. So we also recorded there, and this guy never showed his face. He just let us record whenever we wanted to.
Yeah.
And it sounded like shit. It was awful. All the recordings were terrible. He got this terrible system.
Enough for a
And,
demo.
like, doesn't matter. And then his lease was up, and the landlords came in, and they were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And he had no clue. And I was working for him at his coffee shop.
Oh.
And he was like, I have to fix this place up in a month, or I have to pay for the damages 100% what they charge me for the damages.
Yeah.
Dude.
So he asked me to stay. You know, we're going to close at 11 every night, and we're going to go to this house, and we're going to work till like 3, 4 in the morning every night.
Yeah.
And we're just going to fix this place up, spackle holes, repaint it. You know? Like nothing like ripping up floors and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
just
yeah,
like
just
we
spot
need to
duty,
fix
yeah,
the walls and repaint these walls and make it look as good as we can. And try to like clean these carpets with like a shampooer and shit and get the paint off the
At least
carpet.
if they're gonna charge you a minimum.
So you're walking in this house. This house is crazy big Victorian era home with like hardwood floors, like cold. You know, we're doing this in winter.
Yeah.
The heat's off. It's an old heater. It's got a basement. It's got a first floor, second floor, third floor, and an attic.
Yeah.
It's a big fucking house, man. Like it's not like a little thing.
Yeah.
There's like 25 rooms in the house. You know, it's a big place.
That's a big fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
it.
it was
Dude,
big.
ran out for
You
$400.
can see it from the highway. You can see it from the highway when you're driving on 222. You can see it. And
Like,
I showed it to Emily like the one time we ate at the hometown diner. We're in the parking lot. I'm like, that's the house right there.
you said it's right next to it,
Yeah, it's not right next to
but
it.
it's like down a little bit.
Yeah, and it's the next house over, but
Yeah.
it's like it's huge. You know,
Yeah.
it's this big fucking house. So like I'm in there for like 3 nights, and we're just painting, and we used to bring like pots of coffee, and I was sober at the time. I was actually on probation because I got busted for a little bit of pot, and
Yeah,
I
was gonna ask you.
got
some
fucked
weed.
real hard for a little bit of weed. Because
kidding.
Pennsylvania, thanks Pennsylvania. Yeah, thanks for like almost ruining my life and making me pay $5,000 to be a normal person.
Real tragedy.
Yeah,
I feel like you should have went to jail for that though. Actually.
Oh yeah, I probably should have been beaten for it, and
Yeah,
you know,
you're not a very good person.
Tossed in a sinkhole.
Of course, right? It's pot, dude. You're
Good people don't smoke marijuana.
Yeah, you're the worst.
Devil's lettuce.
Yeah.
Devil's lettuce.
So it was the last. Well, it was the last night that I was ever there, and we were pretty much almost finished up. So we had to paint. The entire first floor was fucked, like totally fucked. And then people had snuck upstairs.
The higher you went up, it was slowly a little bit less.
Yeah, but there were like 2 rooms upstairs that were real fucked up. And this is why I was like,
The rapist room.
when you mentioned your staircase and how you were talking about this is why I got all pissed off, and I was like, motherfucker. I had to like explain this to you. So what happened was we were done. It was like 3 a.m, like around 3, between 3 and 4, and it was like, we're going home. We're done. So we had these like the industrial like yellow spotlights with the black cage.
Yeah.
And you can like bend them and light up a whole room.
Wherever you want to be.
You know, and we had those, and we had a couple ladders, and I had to go up and get the 2 spotlights and a ladder. It was like 2 spotlights and a ladder, maybe whatever it was. And we left the paint there and shit, but like he was like, oh, you got to bring my gear down because I don't want anybody breaking in here. Because the doors were fucked. Like, this place was so old, dude. Yeah. Like, there were, like, keys to get in. Like, you could just, like...
Oh, keys in the doorways?
Well,
for,
yeah,
like,
you could just, like, go up to one of the windows and just open it from the outside. And just, like, crawl in the window. It was, like, so old, you know? And, I went up to get it. So you're walking up these stairs, right? And you're, like... It's a staircase. It's, like, 12 to 15 stairs, whatever. That's like the standard, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
every staircase is usually like 12
is it
stairs.
Like one of the staircases is like right in the middle as soon as you walk in the front of the house?
No, like there was like a back door and a front door, but if you walked in the front door, the staircase was in the hallway.
Okay.
Like right when you walked in.
I'm just trying to picture it in my head.
So like there's rooms on both sides of the front door, and then there's a staircase, and then there's a hallway straight to the back door.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 rooms next to the back door.
Yeah.
All right. So you go up the staircase, and this staircase goes to the 2nd and the 3rd floor, and then there was a like tiny staircase to the door in the ceiling to get into the attic.
Yeah.
So when you go up the staircase to the 2nd floor, you have to you walk into a wall at the top of the stairs. So you have to turn around. And then there's another hallway, and then you take a left and turn around again to get up to the next stairs to go to the 3rd floor.
Yeah.
So we were on the 2nd floor working, and that's where all the shit was that I had to come and get. So I go up the staircase, and I hit the wall, and I turn around. Random girl, standing there, brunette hair. She has the puffy like ball shoulder pad with the frills on her arms, dress, and she's just standing there. Looking at me. Just looking right at me. And I don't know how long it was. Maybe it was probably a couple seconds, maybe like 1 or 2.
Felt like forever. Probably though.
And I just stopped because it was like, who the fuck is in the house?
Yeah, what's this?
Yeah, you're not be like,
who the fuck is
are you?
that?
Who
Was this The Shining?
And then I realized when I was looking at it, I could see right through her. But she had full color. So it wasn't like looking at like...
Transparent, but it wasn't like...
Right, it wasn't looking like Casper. It wasn't like black and white. It was like... I can see the wall behind this girl.
Yeah. It's the outline of her.
And she looked right at me, and then she walked left into the room. And in my head, I hadn't registered it yet that like maybe I'm seeing something, or I thought someone was in the house.
Yeah.
And it was like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? And I ran into the room that she walked into. There's no exit out of that room except the way in. There's one door into that room. There's 2 windows, both shut. There's a closet in the room. Ripped open the closet, and as soon as I ripped open the closet and didn't see her, I was like, I just froze, and I was like, I just saw a fucking ghost.
Yeah.
Holy shit! And I ran out of the house and ran out the back door, and the first thing I did was just grab the smoke, and just lit it up. And then everybody.
You should have did Six
well,
Inside.
I was Six Inside, bro. I was with 2 people. Their names were Tori and Dan, and then Jason was the owner, and he was with us too. And Tori came out, and she said, "Why did you just run out the back door?" And I said, "Tori, I'm not going back in that house." He goes, "What?" She said, "Well, why'd you run out?" I said, "I'm not coming back." She goes, "Well, did you get this?" I'm not going back. You go ahead and go up and get the stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not going back in this house. And then I told her like what I saw, and she, oh, shut the fuck up. You know, okay, whatever. Like, and I keep saying, I'm like, I'm not going. I never went back. I didn't go back, and we weren't done. We weren't done fixing it up, and they went back like 3 more nights, and it was Dan saw her.
Really?
At least he said he saw her. I don't know. Dan's a good dude. I kind of believe him.
Yeah.
I kind of don't believe him. You know,
Right in the middle.
I'm like,
There's a possibility.
and he was like, "Yeah, I went after her too," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay." Like,
Yeah, okay.
I mean, you went after because you didn't know who the fuck was.
Would
if
I
you,
want-
if you know if it's a ghost, yo,
Yeah.
Different reasons.
you
he
stay
went
right
after.
there.
Yeah.
but that's my story, and that's why I believe in him. Because my dad always told me that the house I grew up in until I was 4 was haunted, and he always told me the story. He saw like a little boy looking in the window, just from the head and shoulders down.
Yeah.
And he saw him run, so my dad like chased him around the house, and he never saw anybody. And I remember, like, I don't know if it was a dream or not, but I remember being in my room when I was a kid, and I saw the light switch flicking on and off by itself, moving up and down, but the lights didn't go on and off. And like, I've 4, probably a nightmare that just stuck with me for my
You
whole
know,
life.
see, I have
you
shit
never
like that
did.
too.
It's
I-
so
I
hard
think
to
I have
gauge
weird
it
shit,
when,
but
from when you're younger, because they can just
but
chalk it up to
I
being
saw
a kid.
that shit, and I was dead sober, because when I was on probation, I followed every rule.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything. I think I drank like 2-3 nights.
Yeah. Even so,
Yeah.
drinking's not gonna fuck.
No,
you.
drinking's not going to make you hallucinate.
No. Hell no.
Even if you're drinking like Cisco or Mad Dog 2020.
You know that's actually not the real name of that. MD.
No, it's Mogan David.
Yep.
Mogan
It's
David.
not actually.
2020.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Absinthe doesn't make you trip either. That's horseshit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
So you just
That
get
shit,
you
that shit
just-
sucks. Have you ever
you
tried
just
that?
get rid of it. Oh, it's
fucking
disgusting.
burn. It's like it's like
Dude,
hot going
it
down.
tastes
Yeah.
worse than it's along the same lines as Jaeger, but worse.
But
but it's like it's got a
is it?
hot tendency to it.
so that's what I saw, and like I still look at the house. Like when I see the house, like if I go to that diner, if I drive
So you know
by
how,
it,
hold on.
I get a little shocked by it. And like if you look at it though too, what's hilarious about that house is like it just looks so fucking haunted. Like you can't, like you would look
reason I
at it
know
and be
you're-
like, I'm not living there. Fuck that.
The reason
You
I know
know?
you're telling the truth is because after you're done telling the story, you're taking a sip of whiskey to calm you down.
I'm not really shocked by it. No, it actually doesn't really like, and I'm not scared by it. And I don't
No.
think I ever was really scared by it, except
Take
in
me
the
back there
moment
with you. I want to try and find this.
No,
bro.
I don't think
No,
I
I
want
know
to go back there.
Hometown Heroes. It's shut
No,
down.
No, not Hometown
No,
Heroes.
Hometown
no,
Heroes.
Oh, that's what.
The
What is that?
Hometown Diner.
Yeah, you're thinking of home like in Bethlehem.
I would. I would like to go there and try and see this. Would you?
Well, now it's now they fixed it up, and there's something in there. I don't know. It's
Really?
like an office building now. Yeah. It still looks the same on the outside.
Yeah.
But there was like some serious construction going on when Emily and I ate at the Hometown Diner, and I showed her the house, and we heard like fucking power tools going, and it's
They're
like,
probably fixing up for
they're probably
something.
ripping out all the mold,
Yeah.
you know, because like there was black mold in the house.
I wonder if try to if they try keeping it like sane.
Well, that made the house even creepier. So like you're like living, like you're hanging out and partying in this house, and you go into some rooms and there's like black shit growing out of the walls. That looks pretty evil.
So what we're saying is
So you're
ghosts are fucking real, right?
I believe in
You
them.
believe it?
Yeah.
Do you believe it?
Are they real though?
Do you believe
Are
that
they
they're
real? I don't know.
I do. Yeah, I do.
I believe they're fucking.
There's been scientists that said that that they've proved that they're just our perceptions of ourselves,
I don't think so.
and I
Not at all.
don't believe in that.
I don't.
I like aliens more. Just saying.
I like aliens.
I want to. Are you talking
And I
about
would
aliens
like to
next
do-
week?
I would like to do
I don't know. At some
aliens.
point, we're gonna
I
talk
would
about
like to
aliens.
do aliens.
I need to
next
be. I
week.
need to be here for aliens.
Okay.
I definitely want to.
All right, guys. So that is the episode.